In the fast-paced, ever-evolving world of tech startups, few figures have left a mark as indelible as Travis Kalanick. A name synonymous with disruption, innovation, and controversy, Kalanick is the co-founder and former CEO of Uber Technologies, a company that transformed the way we think about transportation. But behind the sleek app and the global ride-hailing empire lies a story of ambition, conflict, and relentless drive, a story of one man's vision to reshape an entire industry, no matter the cost. Early on, he exhibited a passion for technology and entrepreneurship, driven by an innate desire to build and create. His first foray into the tech world was at UCLA, where he dropped out to pursue a career in software development, a decision that would define the trajectory of his life. Before Uber, there was Scour, his first company, a peer-to-peer file-sharing service that challenged established internet norms. But Scour's legal battles and eventual shutdown were just the beginning of Kalanick's journey. From the ashes of Scour, Kalanick co-founded Red Swoosh, a company focused on content delivery, which would later sell for $19 million. This early taste of success laid the foundation for his next and most ambitious project, Uber. In 2009, alongside Garrett Camp, Kalanick launched Uber, initially a simple concept to solve the problem of unreliable taxi services in San Francisco. The idea was simple: create a smartphone app that would connect passengers with drivers at the tap of a button. What followed was nothing short of revolutionary. Uber expanded rapidly, upending the taxi industry and creating an entirely new market for ride-sharing. Yet, with success came the inevitable challenges. The tension with regulators, city governments, and the taxi industry was fierce and unrelenting. Kalanick's leadership style was as bold as the company he built. Known for his fierce competitiveness, no-nonsense approach, and willingness to defy traditional business norms, he became a lightning rod for both praise and criticism. Under his watch, Uber grew from a fledgling startup to a global powerhouse, but the road was anything but smooth. Allegations of a toxic corporate culture, accusations of unethical business practices, and legal battles over labor laws threatened to unravel everything he had worked for. Uber's rise was marked by clashes with local governments and taxi unions across the globe. From regulatory fights in Europe to heated protests in cities like London and New York, the company's aggressive tactics drew both admiration and condemnation. Kalanick himself became the face of Uber's unapologetic strategy, often pushing the envelope on what was acceptable in the tech world. But as the company grew, so did the scrutiny. Allegations of harassment, sexism, and an unhealthy work environment led to public backlash. In 2017, after intense pressure from investors, Kalanick stepped down as Uber's CEO, leaving behind a legacy that was as complicated as it was transformative. His departure marked the end of an era for Uber, but the company he built would continue to shape the future of transportation, even without him at the helm. Travis Kalanick's journey is one of both triumph and turmoil. His story raises crucial questions about the cost of innovation, the price of success, and the ethics of building a billion-dollar empire in the age of Silicon Valley. This is the untold story of the man who took Uber from the backseat to the driver's seat of a global revolution. Travis Kalanick is a name that resonates in the tech world and beyond, representing the very essence of Silicon Valley's disruptive spirit. Known for founding Uber, a company that redefined the global transportation landscape, Kalanick's journey is one of ambition, conflict, and relentless determination. But to understand the story of Uber, you must first understand the story of the man who built it. Born in 1976 in Los Angeles, California, Kalanick's story began far from the global stages of Silicon Valley. Raised in a middle-class family, his mother was a civil engineer and his father an entrepreneur. From a young age, Kalanick was exposed to the world of business and problem-solving. He was a naturally curious child, intelligent, driven, and often quick to question the status quo. His passion for technology took root early, and by the time he was a teenager, Kalanick was already experimenting with computers and software. After attending Granada Hills High School, Kalanick went on to study computer engineering at UCLA, but his time in college was short-lived. After just 2 years, he dropped out, unwilling to wait for a degree to start his career. His decision to leave UCLA reflected the deep entrepreneurial drive that would define his career. He later reflected, saying that college felt like a detour on his path to success. In 1998, Kalanick's first major venture was born, Scour, a peer-to-peer file-sharing service that aimed to compete with Napster. Scour quickly gained traction, but it wasn't long before it ran into serious legal troubles. The company faced lawsuits from major media corporations and ultimately shut down in 2000, a blow to Kalanick's early career. But, rather than discouraging him, the failure only strengthened his resolve. From the ashes of Scour, Kalanick launched his next company, Red Swoosh, a content delivery network. This venture was ultimately sold to Akamai Technologies for $19 million in 2007, marking Kalanick's first big financial win. But Kalanick's biggest break came in 2009, when he co-founded Uber, alongside Garrett Camp. The concept was deceptively simple: create a smartphone app that could connect passengers with drivers. It all started with a problem Kalanick had while attending a tech conference in Paris. He couldn't find a taxi. In that moment, the idea for Uber was born, a reliable, convenient way to hail a ride from the palm of your hand. Together with Camp, Kalanick set out to turn this idea into a reality. Uber started as Uber Cab, a luxury black car service available only in San Francisco. But it wasn't long before Kalanick and his team saw the potential to scale. What began as an app for the wealthy quickly expanded, with UberX offering lower-cost rides and the ride-hailing model revolutionizing urban transportation. The app gained users quickly, and the company grew at an explosive rate. However, this meteoric rise also led to fierce battles with regulators, taxi services, and government officials around the world. Kalanick's leadership style was unconventional and aggressive. He wasn't afraid to take on entrenched industries or push the boundaries of the law to achieve Uber's rapid growth. The company faced intense opposition from traditional taxi drivers, and in some cities, Uber was banned. But Kalanick's belief in his vision never wavered. His mantra was simple: move fast and break things. As Uber's CEO, Kalanick became a global icon, known as much for his fiery personality as for his entrepreneurial acumen. Under his leadership, Uber expanded to more than 60 countries and hundreds of cities around the world. But Kalanick's tenure wasn't without its controversies. His leadership was often described as combative, with employees and critics accusing Uber of fostering a toxic corporate culture. In 2017, a viral blog post from a former employee revealed troubling accounts of harassment and discrimination at Uber's headquarters. The backlash was swift, and Kalanick faced mounting pressure from investors, employees, and the public. In June 2017, amid growing scandals and calls for his resignation, Kalanick stepped down as Uber's CEO. It was a dramatic and unexpected departure, ending his 9-year tenure at the helm of the company he had built. However, Kalanick's legacy at Uber was undeniable. Under his leadership, the company had become a global giant, valued at billions of dollars and fundamentally altering the way people move around cities. But the fallout from his leadership style left an indelible mark on the company. Following his departure from Uber, Kalanick shifted his focus to new ventures. In 2017, he launched a new startup, City Storage Systems, which aims to revitalize underutilized urban real estate. Kalanick's post-Uber ventures reflect his continued drive to innovate and disrupt, this time with an emphasis on real estate and infrastructure. Outside of his business ventures, Kalanick's personal life has also been the subject of media attention. Known for his competitive spirit and larger-than-life personality, he remains a somewhat enigmatic figure. A complex man, Kalanick is both a visionary and a provocateur, someone who sees opportunity where others see obstacles, and someone who is unapologetically willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. Today, Uber stands as one of the most influential companies in the world, with a valuation of over $80 billion and a diverse range of services from food delivery to freight logistics. Though Kalanick no longer leads the company, his fingerprints are all over Uber's continued evolution. Travis Kalanick's legacy is one of transformation. He reshaped the world of transportation, challenging established industries and creating an entirely new market. His story raises crucial questions about the balance between innovation and ethics, the price of success, and the costs of revolutionizing an industry. For better or worse, Kalanick's impact on the world and on the future of business cannot be overstated. The journey of Travis Kalanick is one of vision, courage, and controversy, and it is far from over. Before Uber, hailing a cab in most cities was a hassle, waiting in long lines, hoping a cab would actually show up, and often dealing with the unpredictable and inefficient nature of the taxi industry. But that all changed with one simple idea that would transform the way the world moved. In 2008, to entrepreneurs Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp sought a solution to a common frustration they both shared. After struggling to get a taxi while attending a tech conference in Paris, they had an epiphany. What if there was a way to order a car, just like you would a pizza, directly from your phone? This idea would evolve into what we now know as Uber, a revolution in transportation that would change the very fabric of urban mobility. In March 2009, Uber was born. What began as a simple idea for a luxury car service in San Francisco quickly grew into a global platform. The first iteration of Uber was called Uber Cab, an app that allowed users to book black cars on demand. The idea was to provide a premium, reliable service for those who were tired of the unreliable and often unfriendly taxi experiences. At its core, Uber was built on the premise of convenience, an easy-to-use app that allowed riders to book a car, track its arrival, and pay for the ride all within minutes. What made Uber truly groundbreaking, however, wasn't just the app, it was the innovative use of technology to connect everyday people with independent drivers. The company wasn't just creating a service, it was creating a whole new economy. The idea quickly gained traction. Uber's early supporters were tech-savvy, young professionals who valued convenience and were willing to pay a premium for it. But what really propelled the company was the larger vision: to democratize access to transportation, provide drivers with flexible employment opportunities, and improve the overall user experience for riders. By 2010, Uber had expanded beyond San Francisco and into other cities in the U.S. Uber's rapid growth was fueled by a mix of bold decisions, savvy marketing, and Kalanick's fearless leadership. He wasn't afraid to push boundaries and take on established players, most notably the taxi industry, which saw Uber as a threat to its long-standing monopoly on urban transportation. The game-changing moment came in 2012 with the launch of UberX. This new service allowed anyone with a car and a driver's license to become an Uber driver. No longer just for the wealthy or those who could afford a black car, Uber opened up transportation to the masses, creating an entirely new class of on-demand drivers. UberX democratized the idea of ride-hailing, making it affordable, convenient, and accessible to a much larger audience. But Uber's rapid success came at a cost. The company quickly found itself at odds with taxi unions, city regulators, and traditional transportation companies that saw Uber as an existential threat. In cities around the world, Uber faced regulatory battles, legal challenges, and public protests. While Uber championed itself as a disruptive force for good, it also found itself in the crosshairs of regulators and government agencies that struggled to adapt to this new business model. Despite the challenges, Uber continued to expand at a staggering pace. By 2013, the company was operating in over 35 cities across the globe. Uber's expansion wasn't just about getting more riders. It was about building a brand that became synonymous with convenience, innovation, and speed. With each new city, Uber became a lifeline to millions of people in need of reliable transportation and a source of income for drivers seeking flexible work. At the heart of Uber's growth was its aggressive strategy. Kalanick was unapologetic about disrupting the traditional industries he encountered, often using the company's rapid growth and resources to challenge regulations. Whether it was lobbying against fare caps or fighting city ordinances, Uber's expansion tactics were at times controversial. But there was no denying the power of Uber's business model, a tech-driven solution that tapped into a need in urban areas where traditional transportation was outdated and inefficient. As the years went on, Uber's platform evolved. It wasn't just about rides anymore, it became a multi-service platform. In 2014, Uber introduced Uberpool, allowing riders to share a ride and split the cost with others going in the same direction. This marked the beginning of Uber's transition from a ride-hailing service to a full-fledged mobility platform. In 2015, Uber launched Uber Eats, a food delivery service allowing users to order meals from local restaurants and have them delivered by Uber drivers. The company's ambitions didn't stop there. Uber set its sights on the future, investing heavily in autonomous vehicle technology, hoping to one day replace human drivers with self-driving cars. The promise of a driverless future raised the stakes even higher, with Uber positioning itself as not just a ride-hailing company, but a transportation pioneer shaping the next generation of mobility. By 2019, Uber's valuation had reached over $70 billion, and the company went public in one of the most highly anticipated IPOs in tech history. But despite its dominance in the market, Uber's journey wasn't without bumps. Regulatory challenges, legal battles, and criticism of its corporate culture made its path to success rocky. Yet, Uber had irrevocably changed the way the world thought about transportation, and its influence would continue to shape the industry for years to come. Uber's success sparked fierce competition from rivals like Lyft, as well as legacy transportation companies trying to adapt to the new digital age. The ride-hailing space became a multi-billion-dollar industry, with Uber often leading the charge in innovation and market share. But even with all its success, Uber remained locked in a battle for global dominance, facing new challenges as it tried to maintain its edge. Uber's story is one of transformation, a company that started with a simple idea to solve a personal problem and became a global force that reshaped an entire industry. It has created millions of jobs, transformed how we think about mobility, and sparked conversations about the future of work, technology, and regulation. Uber's rise is not just about one company's journey, it's about a movement that changed the world. A story of audacity, ambition, and a willingness to redefine what's possible in the age of technology. The ride may have started with a simple app, but it has set the course for the future of transportation, and the world is still catching up. When Travis Kalanick co-founded Uber in 2009, he set out to create more than just a ride-hailing app. He envisioned a revolution, a complete overhaul of how people move, work, and interact with transportation. Over the next decade, Kalanick would not only reshape the global transportation landscape, but also spark a wave of change that rippled through technology, labor, and society. Kalanick's impact on the world began with a simple, yet profound idea: what if you could summon a ride with the tap of a button? It was a vision that challenged traditional industries, disrupted centuries-old models of transportation, and forever changed how people think about moving through urban environments. Uber wasn't just a tech product, it was a catalyst for change. It challenged the monopoly of traditional taxi services, offering consumers a more reliable, cost-efficient, and tech-driven alternative. Kalanik's insistence on building a seamless experience led to an app that worked efficiently and intuitively, a key factor in Uber's global appeal. Perhaps Kalanik's most significant disruption came in 2012 with the launch of UberX. By allowing everyday drivers to use their personal vehicles to transport passengers, Uber democratized transportation, creating a new class of gig workers. Suddenly, anyone with a car could become a driver, giving people the flexibility to earn money on their own terms. UberX made transportation affordable, accessible, and scalable in a way that had never been seen before. But Kalanik's impact went far beyond transportation. He was part of a new breed of Silicon Valley leaders who pushed boundaries, not just in business but in how society viewed innovation. He embodied the mantra of move fast and break things, a philosophy that led Uber to expand at an unprecedented pace. Under his leadership, Uber grew from a local San Francisco service to a global behemoth operating in over 60 countries by 2017. However, Kalanik's aggressive approach didn't come without consequences. His focus on rapid expansion and disruption led to intense backlash from the taxi industry, government regulators, and critics who accused Uber of undercutting labor rights and ignoring local laws. Uber's rise was marked by a series of ethical controversies, including reports of a toxic corporate culture and allegations of harassment within the company. Kalanik's leadership style, often described as combative and unapologetic, was both a driving force behind Uber's success and a source of deep internal and external tension. Kalanik's leadership was a double-edged sword. On one hand, Uber was growing faster than any startup in history, attracting billions in funding and changing how people viewed transportation. On the other hand, the company's antagonistic approach to regulation and competition often drew fierce resistance. In cities around the world, Uber faced legal battles with taxi drivers, regulators, and local governments who fought back against its unorthodox business model. Yet, Kalanik's impact wasn't just about Uber. His approach to business aggressive, daring, and ruthlessly efficient set the tone for an entire generation of startups in Silicon Valley and beyond. Uber helped shape the gig economy, where workers increasingly became independent contractors rather than employees. This shift opened new opportunities for flexible work but also sparked debates about worker rights, benefits, and job security. In 2017, amid mounting pressure and controversy, Kalanik resigned as Uber's CEO. His departure marked the end of an era for the company, but his influence remained. Uber was now a multi-billion-dollar company, and its trajectory was no longer just about growth but about sustainability, ethics, and cultural change. Despite the controversies, Kalanik's legacy at Uber is undeniable. Under his leadership, Uber didn't just change the way we get from point A to point B, it became a global symbol of how technology could reshape industries. Beyond ride-hailing, Uber expanded into food delivery with Uber Eats, freight logistics with Uber Freight, and even explored autonomous vehicle technology. Kalanik's vision had far-reaching implications, pushing the company into sectors beyond transportation. After Uber, Kalanik didn't fade into the background. He remained an influential figure in Silicon Valley, founding new ventures like City Storage Systems, which focuses on repurposing real estate for innovative uses. Kalanik's continued drive for disruption, this time in the world of real estate and urban infrastructure, demonstrates his belief that technology can revolutionize even the most established industries. Kalanik's legacy extends beyond the companies he built to the cultural shifts he triggered. His impact on the gig economy forever altered how people view work, employment, and flexibility. Uber's model provided millions of drivers with opportunities to earn income on their own terms. But it also forced society to grapple with the complexities of gig labor issues of fairness, compensation, and benefits that continue to dominate global discussions. As Uber reached new heights, becoming one of the most valuable companies in the world and going public in 2019, it was clear that Kalanick's vision was far more than a passing trend. He didn't just change transportation, he reshaped the future of work, entrepreneurship, and how we think about mobility. His approach may have been controversial, but it was undeniably effective, changing the world in ways few could have predicted. Travis Kalanick's story is one of disruption, of challenging norms, breaking barriers, and creating something that would forever alter the landscape of technology, business, and culture. His impact is felt not only in the apps we use daily, but in the way we understand work, mobility, and the power of innovation. For better or worse, Kalanick's legacy is etched into the fabric of the modern world, a testament to the power of bold ideas and the risk of changing the world on your own terms. Travis Kalanick wasn't just a tech entrepreneur, he was a pioneer who dared to imagine a new way of moving through the world. His journey is one of audacity, ambition, and transformation, and it serves as a reminder of the profound effect one person's vision can have on the world. Travis Kalanick's journey is not just a tale of tech innovation, it's a story of disruption, vision, and transformation. From the simple idea of making transportation as easy as a tap on your phone to the creation of a global empire that changed the way people move, work, and live, Kalanick has had an indelible impact on the world. His relentless drive to challenge the status quo redefined not just the taxi industry, but the very idea of what a business could be in the digital age. Under his leadership, Uber grew from a small startup to a multi-billion-dollar powerhouse, reshaping the gig economy and making technology an integral part of everyday life. It wasn't just about providing a ride, it was about creating an ecosystem, an entirely new way of thinking about work, labor, and mobility. Uber became more than just an app, it was a symbol of Silicon Valley's belief in radical change and the power of technological innovation to solve real-world problems. But Kalanick's journey at Uber was not without its struggles. The same disruptive spirit that fueled Uber's meteoric rise also led to internal strife, public backlash, and a series of ethical questions. His leadership style, marked by a fierce ambition and unrelenting pursuit of growth, was both praised and criticized. In the end, Kalanick's departure from the company he built left Uber at a crossroads, forcing it to confront the delicate balance between ambition and responsibility. Today, Uber stands as one of the world's most influential companies, continuing to evolve and expand. While Kalanick may no longer be at the helm, his legacy is woven into the fabric of the company. His vision for a seamless, on-demand world continues to shape Uber's operations, from ride-sharing to food delivery, freight, and even autonomous vehicles. The impact of his work is undeniable, not just in how we move, but in how we think about what's possible when you dare to disrupt the norms. Even after Uber, Kalanick's drive to innovate hasn't slowed. His new ventures, including city storage systems, demonstrate his continued commitment to shaking up industries. Kalanick's journey is proof that once you disrupt one industry, the drive to transform others becomes an unstoppable force. But his story also serves as a cautionary tale of the costs of rapid growth, the importance of balancing ethics with ambition, and the consequences of a leadership style that leaves little room for compromise. As Kalanick reflects on his journey, one thing is clear: he has left a mark on the world that will be felt for decades. His story is not just one of entrepreneurial triumph, but also of the hard truths that come with creating something that challenges the very fabric of society. Kalanick's impact goes beyond Uber. It's a legacy of boldness, vision, and the willingness to take risks even when the road ahead is uncertain. In the end, Travis Kalanick's legacy is about more than just creating a billion-dollar company. It's about the audacity to imagine something new, to challenge the status quo, and to relentlessly pursue a vision no matter the cost. His story reminds us that the road to innovation is often messy, filled with obstacles, failures, and hard lessons. But it is also filled with the potential for greatness, for change, and for the power to reimagine the world. Travis Kalanick may not have had the easiest path, but his story will continue to inspire those who dare to think differently, who seek to disrupt industries, and who believe that one idea can change the world. The journey of Travis Kalanick is far from over, but the impact he's had on the world is undeniable. He has forever altered the way we think about technology, business, and the future of work. The question now isn't just what he's done, it's what comes next. Reed Hastings grew up in a world where the limits of entertainment were confined to what was available at the local video store or scheduled television broadcasts. But from a young age, he saw beyond these boundaries. Born in 1960 in Boston, Massachusetts, Hastings wasn't just an ordinary child. He was always driven by curiosity, curious about how things worked, how businesses grew, and how technology could change the world. After graduating from Bowdoin College with a degree in mathematics and later earning a master's degree in computer science from Stanford University, Reed Hastings was no stranger to the power of technology. Yet, despite his strong background in academics, it wasn't until the mid-1990s that he would make his mark on the world. At the time, the internet was still in its infancy, but Hastings saw the potential it held to transform industries. It was 1997 when he co-founded Netflix, a company that would not only revolutionize how we consume entertainment, but also become a symbol of Silicon Valley's relentless pursuit of innovation. Netflix began as a DVD rental by mail service. At the time, video rental stores like Blockbuster ruled the market, but Reed's vision was already pointing toward a new horizon. He believed that the way people consumed media could and should be radically different. With Netflix, he sought to eliminate late fees, create a subscription model, and bring movies directly to people's homes. But this was only the beginning of a much larger vision. In 1998, Netflix officially launched, offering an alternative to traditional video rental chains. The subscription-based model eliminated the need for customers to return movies by a specific deadline, solving the perennial frustration of late fees. What Reed Hastings understood was that convenience and customer satisfaction would be key to success. But even then, he knew that this model was just a stepping stone toward the true potential of Netflix. Hastings wasn't content with simply dominating DVD rentals. As the internet evolved and broadband internet became more widespread, he saw an opportunity to bring movies directly to viewers' screens through streaming. In 2007, Netflix made the monumental decision to launch a streaming service. The move marked a seismic shift in the entertainment industry, changing the way audiences would consume content forever. Reed Hastings wasn't just a tech visionary, he was a strategist. He understood that Netflix couldn't just be another video-on-demand platform. It had to be a place where content could be discovered, where original storytelling could thrive, and where technology could make the experience effortless. Hastings saw that in order to change the way we watch TV and movies, Netflix needed to own its own future. And that meant investing heavily in technology, innovation, and eventually creating its own original content. In 2013, Netflix took a bold leap with the launch of its first original series. House of Cards, the move to produce and distribute original content, wasn't just a business decision, it was a declaration of Netflix's commitment to reimagining entertainment. With House of Cards' success, the floodgates opened for a wave of critically acclaimed original shows and films, forever altering the entertainment landscape. Under Reed Hastings' leadership, Netflix didn't just change how we watched television, it transformed the entire global entertainment ecosystem. By expanding into international markets, Netflix became a cultural phenomenon available to millions of viewers worldwide. The company's success pushed traditional broadcasters and cable providers to rethink their models and accelerated the rise of on-demand streaming services across the globe. As Netflix grew, so did Reed Hastings' reputation as one of Silicon Valley's most innovative leaders. His approach to business was rooted in a belief that the key to success wasn't simply about competing, it was about creating something entirely new. He believed that Netflix's future didn't lie in just being a platform for watching shows. It was about changing the way entertainment was made and consumed on a global scale. One of the defining features of Netflix under Hastings' leadership was its commitment to technology. From its algorithm that recommends movies based on your viewing history to the seamless, ad-free experience that users now take for granted, Netflix's technological innovations have set the standard for the streaming industry. Reed Hastings was born on October 8, 1960, in Boston, Massachusetts, into a family that valued education and curiosity. Growing up, Hastings showed an early interest in academics, excelling in mathematics and science. Raised in a suburban environment, he wasn't one to shy away from exploring big ideas. His upbringing would lay the foundation for the remarkable journey that would reshape the entertainment industry. Hastings attended Bowdoin College in Maine, where he majored in mathematics. Here, he demonstrated the drive and intellectual curiosity that would shape his future. A few years later, he went on to earn a master's degree in computer science from Stanford University, immersing himself in the rapidly evolving field of technology during the early days of the personal computer revolution. After completing his studies at Stanford, Hastings was drawn to Silicon Valley, the beating heart of technological innovation. It was the mid-1980s, and the tech boom was just beginning to take off. Hastings co-founded his first company, Pure Software, in 1991, a startup that focused on software tools for debugging programs. It was a time of experimentation, risk, and rapid growth, qualities that Hastings would later bring to his work with Netflix. Pure Software was a success, and Hastings sold it to Rational Software in 1997 for $750 million, making him a wealthy man. But rather than resting on his laurels, he shifted his focus to a new idea, one that would have an even bigger impact on the world. In 1997, Reed Hastings co-founded Netflix with Mark Randolph. Initially, Netflix was a DVD rental service by mail, an innovative concept at the time. This idea was born out of Hastings' frustration with late fees at traditional video rental stores like Blockbuster, and a belief that the future of entertainment was at home in the digital realm. Netflix launched its website in 1998, allowing customers to browse a catalog of DVDs online and have them mailed to their homes. This was a major departure from the typical brick-and-mortar video rental stores, which were limited in both inventory and geographical reach. What made Netflix different was its subscription model, which eliminated the need for late fees, offering a convenient and stress-free rental experience. Hastings' vision was clear. He wanted to build a business that would change the way people consumed entertainment. His ambition was not just to compete with video rental chains, but to completely overhaul the industry by making rentals more convenient, affordable, and customer-friendly. But what Hastings realized early on was that this was just the beginning. Despite early growth, Netflix faced challenges. Blockbuster, the dominant video rental company at the time, was slow to embrace digital technology and dismissed Netflix's subscription model as a passing trend. Hastings, however, saw the future differently. He saw the internet as the ultimate platform for entertainment, and he knew that streaming would eventually change everything. In 2007, Netflix made a bold move. Recognizing the rise of broadband internet and the increasing demand for on-demand content, the company transitioned from a DVD rental service to an online streaming platform. It was a gamble that would forever change the way people consumed television and movies. Hastings' bet on streaming paid off, and Netflix rapidly grew, offering viewers instant access to an ever-expanding library of content. As streaming took off, Netflix's model evolved even further. By 2013, Netflix had taken a groundbreaking step producing its own original content. The launch of House of Cards, Netflix's first original series, marked a pivotal moment in the company's history. It demonstrated that Netflix wasn't just a platform for watching content, it was a major player in content creation. Under Hastings' leadership, Netflix became a leader in original programming, delivering hits like Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things, and The Crown. These shows were not just hits. They were cultural phenomena, and they changed the way audiences consumed television, making binge-watching a global habit. Hastings was reshaping the entertainment landscape, competing with traditional TV networks and movie studios on a level they had never anticipated. One of Hastings' most significant achievements was Netflix's expansion into international markets. What started as an American service soon became available in nearly every country around the world. Hastings recognized the global potential of Netflix and worked to create a service that could adapt to diverse markets, overcoming challenges such as censorship and language barriers to become a global powerhouse. By 2016, Netflix was available in over 190 countries with more than 70 million subscribers. The service had become a household name, and Hastings had succeeded in his mission to not only change how people watch television, but to make Netflix a truly global brand. Hastings' belief in technology and data was key to Netflix's success. By using sophisticated algorithms to recommend content based on a user's viewing history, Netflix created a personalized experience for each subscriber. The seamless interface and commitment to eliminating distractions, like ads, made the viewing experience unrivaled. While Netflix's success seems inevitable in hindsight, it was far from guaranteed. Hastings faced significant challenges along the way: critics who doubted his vision, competitors who tried to replicate his business model, and internal struggles as the company pivoted from DVD to streaming and then to content creation. Yet, throughout it all, Hastings remained focused on one goal: to give people what they wanted, entertainment on their terms. Despite his massive success, Hastings has remained grounded, focusing not only on the business side of things but also on social causes. A strong advocate for education reform, he has donated millions to educational initiatives and served on various boards. His commitment to social good has made him a respected figure not just in tech but in broader philanthropic circles. Today, Reed Hastings continues to drive Netflix into the future. From interactive storytelling with Bandersnatch to exploring virtual reality and gaming, Hastings' desire to push the boundaries of entertainment shows no sign of slowing down. As Netflix moves into new frontiers, Hastings' impact on the entertainment world is undeniable. Reed Hastings didn't just change the way we watch TV. He changed the way we think about media, how it's consumed, how it's made, and who controls it. He's not just a Silicon Valley entrepreneur. He's a cultural architect shaping the entertainment industry in ways few could have imagined. And as Netflix continues to evolve, one thing is clear: Reed Hastings' vision has left an indelible mark on the world. In the late 1990s, renting movies meant driving to the nearest video store, dealing with long lines, and returning DVDs on time to avoid late fees. The industry was dominated by giants like Blockbuster, and the concept of streaming movies from your living room seemed far off. But Reed Hastings had a different vision, one that would transform not only the way we watch movies, but how we think about entertainment itself. In 1997, Hastings co-founded Netflix with Mark Randolph. Initially, the idea was simple: offer DVD rentals by mail. At the time, Blockbuster had a near monopoly on video rentals, but Hastings saw an opportunity to innovate. The model was a stark contrast to the traditional rental store setup: no late fees, no due dates, it was convenient, and it was easy. In 1998, Netflix launched its website, allowing users to browse and rent DVDs online. This was revolutionary. Instead of traveling to a brick-and-mortar store, Netflix delivered the movies directly to customers' homes, allowing for a more seamless, customer-centric experience. The subscription model was different. Two users could rent as many DVDs as they wanted each month for a fixed fee, eliminating the need to worry about late fees. Blockbuster, the dominant force in video rentals, initially dismissed Netflix's business model. But Hastings wasn't deterred. He had a bigger vision, one where technology could transform the entire way people consumed content. His plan was to build a scalable business, one that didn't just rely on physical stores and DVDs, but could harness the power of the internet to deliver entertainment directly to consumers. The early years were far from easy. Netflix struggled with low subscriber numbers, and the DVD by mail business model had its limitations. At the same time, Blockbuster continued to dominate, but Hastings was patient. He knew the internet would eventually play a central role in how people consumed media, and he wasn't ready to give up on his dream. As the internet became more ubiquitous and broadband internet access expanded, Hastings began to see a new opportunity. The era of physical media was rapidly coming to an end, and streaming, the ability to watch movies and TV shows instantly over the internet, was emerging as the next big thing. In 2007, Netflix made its boldest move yet, the launch of its streaming service. The idea was revolutionary. For the first time, subscribers could watch movies and TV shows instantly without waiting for a DVD to be mailed. This shift was a game changer, and it marked the beginning of Netflix's rise to dominance. At first, the streaming library was small, but the concept was clear. Hastings had created a platform that could deliver entertainment without the need for physical media. The potential was enormous. Streaming was a faster, more convenient way for consumers to access content, and it would only continue to improve as internet speeds and technology advanced. In 2013, Netflix took its next bold step, the launch of its first original series, House of Cards. This marked the beginning of Netflix's transformation from a content distributor to a content creator. By producing its own series, Netflix had the power to curate its own library of content, bypassing traditional television networks and film studios altogether. The success of House of Cards opened the door for a wave of groundbreaking original content. Series like Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things, and The Crown became instant hits, attracting millions of subscribers worldwide. What was once a service for renting DVDs had now become a cultural force, creating shows that were as influential as anything on traditional television. As Netflix's content library grew, so did its subscriber base. By 2016, Netflix was available in over 190 countries with more than 70 million subscribers. Reed Hastings had built a global entertainment empire, revolutionizing the entertainment industry and forcing traditional TV networks and movie studios to rethink their entire business model. Netflix's global expansion wasn't just about offering American content worldwide, it was about creating content for audiences everywhere. From Bollywood films to original series in Spanish, German, and French, Netflix became a truly international platform catering to diverse tastes and preferences. Hastings' vision had always been global, and it was paying off. One of Netflix's key innovations was its use of data. The platform's sophisticated recommendation engine, powered by an algorithm that learns viewers' preferences, changed the way people discovered content. Rather than relying on TV schedules or recommendations from critics, Netflix users could simply log in and receive a personalized list of shows and movies tailored to their tastes. As the platform's technology evolved, so did its viewing experience. Netflix began offering 4K resolution, HDR content, and mobile streaming, making it easier than ever for subscribers to watch their favorite shows and movies on any device, anytime, anywhere. But Reed Hastings wasn't content with just expanding Netflix's reach. He saw an opportunity to create content that was tailored to local tastes, producing original series in countries around the world. Whether it was Narcos in Latin America or Sacred Games in India, Netflix became a platform that not only brought global entertainment to local audiences, but also gave local creators a voice on the world stage. Despite its success, Netflix has faced fierce competition from other streaming giants like Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Disney+. But rather than retreating, Reed Hastings doubled down on his commitment to creating diverse, high-quality content and expanding Netflix's global footprint. Hastings understood that the key to Netflix's success wasn't just the quantity of its content, but the quality. Reed Hastings' leadership transformed Netflix from a small DVD rental company into a global entertainment powerhouse. Today, Netflix is more than just a streaming service. It is a cultural juggernaut that has forever changed the way people consume media. Hastings' vision to bring entertainment directly to consumers, anytime and anywhere, has reshaped the industry, and with each new chapter, Netflix continues to push the boundaries of what's possible. The rise of Netflix is a testament to the power of innovation, the importance of timing, and the ability to disrupt an entire industry. Reed Hastings' journey with Netflix has not only transformed entertainment but has redefined how we experience stories. And with the company continuing to evolve, one thing is clear: the revolution in media is far from over. Reed Hastings' impact on the entertainment world is undeniable. From a small DVD rental business to the global streaming giant that Netflix is today, his vision and leadership have reshaped the way we consume entertainment and how the entertainment industry operates. In the 1990s, renting movies meant driving to your local Blockbuster or other video rental chains, choosing a film from their limited stock, and hoping you didn't get charged a late fee. At the time, there were few who could have imagined a world where we'd stream movies and TV shows instantly, on demand, wherever we were. Yet Reed Hastings saw this future, and he set out to make it a reality. Hastings co-founded Netflix in 1997, not to be just another video rental service, but to fundamentally change the industry. His decision to offer DVD rentals by mail wasn't just an innovation, it was the beginning of a new way of thinking about media distribution. Netflix offered the convenience of home delivery, eliminating late fees, and allowing customers to rent unlimited DVD discs for a fixed monthly fee. But Reed Hastings didn't stop there. As the internet grew in speed and accessibility, he recognized the seismic shift happening in the tech landscape. The idea of streaming movies online was gaining traction, and Hastings, always ahead of the curve, made the pivotal decision to shift Netflix's focus from DVD rentals to online streaming. In 2007, Netflix launched its streaming service, allowing subscribers to watch movies and TV shows instantly over the internet. This move wasn't just an incremental change, it was a game changer. It signaled the end of the physical media era and began the transformation of entertainment from traditional formats like cable TV and DVD discs to on-demand streaming. Hastings wasn't merely trying to disrupt the video rental industry, he was setting the stage for a total revolution in how we engage with entertainment. He understood that the future of media lay in data, personalization, and accessibility. And Netflix was uniquely positioned to deliver on this promise. A core element of Netflix's success lies in its sophisticated algorithms, which use data to recommend content based on individual tastes. By analyzing what viewers watched, how long they watched, and their ratings, Netflix revolutionized content discovery, making it easier for subscribers to find shows and movies they loved and keeping them engaged for longer periods. But Hastings' impact didn't stop with streaming. In 2013, Netflix made a bold move launching its own original programming. House of Cards became Netflix's first hit series, signaling that the company wasn't just a platform, it was a creator of high-quality content. From Stranger Things to The Crown, Netflix's investment in original programming would change the television landscape forever. Reed Hastings also changed the global nature of television. Netflix's expansion into international markets wasn't just about offering American content abroad, it was about adapting and localizing content for different regions. Netflix produced Narcos for Latin America, Sacred Games for India, and a host of other shows tailored to regional tastes. With Netflix now available in over 190 countries, Hastings ensured that the platform was a truly global powerhouse. Under Hastings' leadership, Netflix placed a premium on diversity not only in the stories it told, but in the creators it worked with. By supporting diverse voices and expanding the range of stories told on screen, Netflix became a reflection of a more globalized, interconnected world where different cultures, languages, and perspectives could thrive. As Netflix grew, so did its commitment to technological innovation. In a world of constantly evolving tech, Netflix stayed at the forefront. From streaming in HD to 4K and HDR, Netflix redefined the quality of streaming content, ensuring that its viewers would experience content in the highest possible quality, whether on a phone, tablet, or TV screen. One of the most profound changes that Reed Hastings fostered was Netflix's commitment to accessibility. As Netflix expanded to mobile devices, smart TVs, and gaming consoles, it made it easier for people to watch anywhere, anytime, on any device. This flexibility changed how we think about television, no longer confined to a living room. It became something we could enjoy on a commute, in a hotel room, or even on the go. Hastings' work didn't just disrupt the entertainment industry, it also changed the competitive landscape. As Netflix grew, so did the number of competitors. Amazon Prime, Hulu, Disney+, and others all entered the streaming race, each trying to carve out their own share of the market. But Netflix, thanks to its head start, its robust content library, and its commitment to innovation, remains the leader in the streaming wars. While Netflix's success seems inevitable now, it wasn't always clear. There were challenges, from the transition from DVD rentals to streaming, to dealing with the massive investments needed for original programming. But Hastings' ability to take risks, adapt quickly, and push the boundaries of what a streaming service could be has been a hallmark of his leadership. Even today, Reed Hastings' impact is ongoing. Netflix continues to expand beyond traditional TV and movies, venturing into gaming, interactive content, and exploring the possibilities of virtual reality. Hastings remains committed to finding new ways to engage audiences, knowing that the future of entertainment is limitless. Reed Hastings changed the rules of the game. He didn't just create a company that delivers entertainment. He created a company that defines how we consume entertainment. From Netflix's early days to its dominance in global streaming, Hastings' impact will continue to resonate for generations. His vision reshaped not only the entertainment industry, but also the very fabric of how we connect to stories in a digital age. Today, Netflix isn't just a service, it's a cultural phenomenon, a living testament to Reed Hastings' bold vision. And as the company continues to evolve, one thing remains certain: the impact of his work will be felt long after the credits roll. As we reflect on Reed Hastings' journey, one thing is abundantly clear: His vision for the future of entertainment has become reality. What began as a modest DVD rental service has grown into a global entertainment empire, forever changing how we consume media. Netflix is no longer just a streaming service, it's a cultural touchstone, reshaping television, film, and storytelling itself. Through Netflix, Hastings championed the idea that entertainment should transcend borders, that stories from all corners of the world could find an audience. From the creation of original content like House of Cards and Stranger Things, to embracing global production in languages as diverse as Spanish, Hindi, and French, Netflix has become a true global platform. Hastings' leadership didn't just guide Netflix's rise. It also influenced the entire entertainment industry. By embracing data-driven decisions, personalized recommendations, and cutting-edge technology, he reshaped how content is delivered, consumed, and discovered. His decision to enter the world of original programming broke the mold, setting a new precedent for how studios and networks think about content production. But perhaps Hastings' most profound legacy is the democratization of entertainment. He turned Netflix into a platform that caters to diverse voices, tastes, and experiences, giving creators from around the world the opportunity to share their stories with millions. Netflix's ability to not only create but also distribute content globally has made it a true pioneer in the digital era. Even as the streaming wars intensify, Reed Hastings continues to push boundaries. Netflix's move into gaming, its exploration of interactive content, and its ongoing investment in new technologies signal that Hastings isn't done yet. He remains focused on building a future where entertainment is more immersive, interactive, and globally connected. Reed Hastings didn't just build a company, he created a platform that adapts to the changing landscape of technology and culture. From pioneering on-demand streaming to making Netflix available on virtually every device, he's ensured that the company will remain at the forefront of innovation. As a leader, Hastings was never content to rest on his laurels. His willingness to take risks, his passion for disruption, and his relentless pursuit of progress have made him one of the most influential figures in modern business and technology. And while Netflix may have redefined television and film, the ripple effect of his work extends far beyond entertainment. The legacy of Reed Hastings is a testament to the power of visionary thinking. His willingness to challenge the status quo has paved the way for new models of entertainment, new forms of storytelling, and new ways of connecting people through shared experiences. Through Netflix, he has touched billions of lives and changed the course of history. In a world where speed and reliability are paramount, one company stands at the forefront of global logistics: FedEx. But behind its success lies the visionary mind of one man, Frederick W. Smith, the founder who transformed the way the world connects through shipping and delivery. Born in 1944 in Marks, Mississippi, Fred Smith's early life was marked by a passion for aviation and an innate drive to innovate. Raised in a time when America was on the cusp of technological advancements, Smith quickly understood the power of fast and reliable transportation. However, the journey that led to the creation of FedEx would require far more than just ambition. Smith attended Yale University in the early 1960s, where he earned a degree in economics. It was during his time at Yale that he penned a business paper that would later become the foundation of FedEx's business model. The paper proposed an integrated transportation network that would revolutionize package delivery by combining air and ground transportation in a way never before seen. Before taking his idea to the world, Smith served as a Marine Corps officer during the Vietnam War, flying cargo planes. The experience gave him invaluable insights into logistics and the importance of speed in delivering goods across long distances. It was this knowledge, combined with his entrepreneurial spirit, that would lay the groundwork for his future success. After leaving the military, Smith ventured into the business world, founding a company called Arkansas Aviation Sales. However, his true vision began to take shape when he recognized the growing need for a reliable and fast global shipping system. The idea for FedEx was born, a company that could guarantee overnight delivery anywhere in the world. In 1971, Fred Smith founded Federal Express, later known as FedEx, in Little Rock, Arkansas. The concept was simple yet revolutionary, an integrated network that combined air transportation for speed and ground transportation for efficiency, ensuring that parcels could be delivered across the country overnight. Starting with just 14 planes and a handful of employees, Smith faced skepticism from investors and industry experts alike. Many doubted the feasibility of his ambitious plan. But Smith's vision was unwavering, and he invested his own money to keep the company afloat in its early years, all while facing fierce competition from established companies. Despite early setbacks, Fred Smith's focus on customer service and innovation eventually paid off. As the company expanded its network, FedEx began to redefine what was possible in the world of logistics. By the late 1970s, FedEx was delivering to more than 100 cities across the U.S. and had already begun its international expansion. As technology advanced, so did FedEx. Smith was a pioneer in incorporating cutting-edge tech into logistics, using real-time tracking systems long before they became industry standards. This ability to track packages at every step of their journey not only set FedEx apart, but also set a new benchmark for the logistics industry. Frederick W. Smith was born on August 11, 1944, in Marks, Mississippi, a small town steeped in the rich history of the American South. Raised in a time of change and innovation, Smith's early years were shaped by a deep sense of purpose and a love for aviation, one that would later drive him to revolutionize global logistics. Fred's father, a successful businessman, passed away when Fred was just 14, leaving him to take on responsibility at a young age. This early loss instilled in Smith an entrepreneurial spirit and a determination to succeed. It was clear even then that his ambition was far greater than his circumstances. In the 1960s, Smith attended Yale University, where he studied economics. It was here that his visionary ideas began to take shape. For a term paper in 1965, Smith wrote about the need for an integrated transportation system to address the growing demands of global commerce. His professor, who doubted the feasibility of such an idea, was unaware that Smith was onto something that would change the world. After graduating from Yale in 1966, Fred Smith enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps. During his service in the Vietnam War, he piloted cargo planes, gaining first-hand knowledge of logistics and transportation. The experience would prove invaluable, laying the foundation for his understanding of the complex systems required to deliver goods quickly and efficiently over long distances. Upon leaving the military in 1969, Smith took his passion for aviation and logistics into the business world. He founded Arkansas Aviation Sales, which later evolved into a company focused on aviation-related services. But Smith had a larger vision, a vision that would fundamentally change the way businesses and consumers interacted with transportation. In 1971, Fred Smith founded Federal Express, later known as FedEx, with a bold goal to create a company that could deliver packages quickly and efficiently to any location, regardless of distance. His vision was simple yet revolutionary: an integrated transportation network that combined air and ground services, offering overnight deliveries on a scale never before seen. At the time, the logistics industry was fragmented. Companies relied on separate modes of transportation: airlines for some deliveries and trucks for others. Smith's idea to merge both into one cohesive system was radical, but it was the only way to ensure that packages would move quickly and reliably. Starting with just 14 planes and a handful of employees, FedEx struggled in its early years. Critics questioned the business model, and investors were skeptical of Smith's bold plans. But he was undeterred, personally investing his own money to keep the company afloat during its critical early stages. Despite these early challenges, Smith's commitment to innovation and excellence gradually paid off. FedEx began expanding its network, launching operations in cities across the United States. By 1973, it had a fleet of over 30 planes, and the company began to demonstrate the power of its model overnight delivery anywhere in the country. Fred Smith was a master of perseverance. Even when FedEx faced near financial ruin, he remained focused on his vision. In 1973, the company faced a major crisis. The oil embargo led to soaring fuel costs, and FedEx struggled to keep its planes in the air. But Smith's belief in the power of his idea and his willingness to take calculated risks kept the company moving forward. By 1975, FedEx was able to break even, and within a few years, the company was profitable. Smith's commitment to innovation, customer service, and expanding the global network led to FedEx's rapid rise. The company was no longer just a domestic player, it was beginning to make its mark on the global stage. By the 1980s, FedEx had expanded its reach overseas, establishing a global footprint that would grow with the rising demands of international commerce. With technology advancing and the world becoming more interconnected, FedEx was perfectly positioned to meet the challenges of global shipping. One of the keys to FedEx's continued growth was its investment in technology. Smith understood early on that the future of logistics would be powered by data. FedEx became one of the first companies to use advanced tracking systems, enabling customers to track their packages in real time, a revolutionary step that set a new standard in the industry. Throughout the decades, Fred Smith's vision never wavered. As the logistics landscape evolved, so did FedEx. The company expanded its services, moving into e-commerce, delivery, freight, and even digital services. Under Smith's leadership, FedEx became a key player in the global supply chain. Today, FedEx is a $90 billion company operating in over 220 countries and territories worldwide. Smith's leadership has earned him recognition as one of the most influential business leaders of the 20th and 21st centuries, with his impact extending far beyond the shipping industry. But Fred Smith's influence goes beyond business. He has been deeply involved in philanthropic efforts, supporting education, disaster relief, and various global initiatives. His work has touched millions of lives, providing critical resources and helping communities in need. Fred Smith's story is one of vision, determination, and an unwavering commitment to innovation. From humble beginnings in Mississippi to building a global empire, his journey has forever changed the way we think about logistics, transportation, and the global economy. In 1971, a visionary named Fred Smith founded a company that would forever change the world of logistics, transportation, and global commerce. Federal Express, later known as FedEx, started as an ambitious idea system that could guarantee the fast, reliable delivery of packages overnight across cities, states, and eventually across the globe. At the time, the logistics industry was fragmented. Companies used separate transportation systems, airlines for some deliveries, trucks for others. Fred Smith's radical idea was to create an integrated network that combined air and ground services under one roof, offering a seamless, overnight delivery service that could reach customers anywhere in the country. Despite the skepticism from investors and industry experts, Fred Smith had a relentless belief in his vision. In the early days, FedEx operated with a fleet of just 14 small planes and fewer than 400 employees. But Smith knew that in order to succeed, he needed more than just a good business idea. He needed innovation, precision, and commitment. FedEx's early years were fraught with challenges. In 1973, a severe oil crisis sent fuel prices skyrocketing, and FedEx faced mounting financial pressure. At one point, the company was on the brink of collapse. Smith was forced to make the difficult decision to invest his own money, personally borrowing $11 million to keep the company afloat. Smith's ability to maintain his focus and take calculated risks during these early setbacks was crucial. He kept the company moving forward, focusing on building the infrastructure necessary for rapid growth. FedEx pioneered the concept of automated sorting systems at its hubs, making it possible to efficiently handle a massive volume of packages around the clock. The key to FedEx's success lay in its innovative logistics system. Smith integrated real-time tracking for every package, a system that not only revolutionized the industry but became a standard for customer service worldwide. No longer did customers have to wonder where their packages were. They could track them every step of the way. In 1977, FedEx achieved a milestone. It became the first express transportation company to offer overnight delivery across the U.S. From there, the company began to expand its reach globally, launching international operations and positioning itself as a true leader in the logistics and supply chain industry. FedEx didn't just remain a domestic service, it was among the first companies to recognize the potential of a globalized world. By the 1980s, the company expanded into Europe, Asia, and Latin America, breaking down the barriers to global commerce. Today, FedEx delivers to over 220 countries and territories worldwide. But Smith knew that to maintain its dominance, FedEx needed to stay ahead of technological trends. He was one of the first to adopt automated sorting systems, integrated computer networks, and innovative tracking technologies. This foresight positioned FedEx as a tech-forward company, paving the way for future growth and customer satisfaction. The introduction of real-time package tracking, in particular, was a game-changer. It gave FedEx a distinct advantage over competitors, as customers could now track their shipments and receive accurate delivery windows, allowing businesses and consumers alike to plan with confidence. By the late 1980s, FedEx's reputation for reliability and speed was cemented. The company expanded beyond its express services, adding ground delivery and freight services and further solidifying its presence in the logistics industry. Smith's ability to pivot, scale, and innovate kept FedEx one step ahead of its competitors. But Fred Smith didn't rest on his laurels. As the internet boom took hold in the 1990s, FedEx was one of the first companies to recognize the importance of e-commerce. With the rise of online shopping, Smith pushed for FedEx to become the backbone of global e-commerce, offering faster, more efficient delivery systems to support the digital economy. FedEx's commitment to innovation didn't stop with its delivery services. The company ventured into new technologies, investing in artificial intelligence, robotics, and autonomous vehicles. Smith's push to stay ahead of the curve and adapt to the changing technological landscape has allowed FedEx to remain relevant even as the logistics industry continues to evolve. By the early 2000s, FedEx had established itself as the dominant global force in logistics. With its reliable shipping methods and advanced technologies, the company was an integral part of the growing global economy. FedEx's operations weren't just about moving packages, they were about connecting people, businesses, and cultures across the world. At the heart of FedEx's rise was its people. Fred Smith understood that the company's success was built not only on technology and logistics, but on a strong, dedicated workforce. FedEx became known for its employee-focused culture, which prioritized safety, respect, and a commitment to excellence. Smith's leadership also extended to FedEx's responsibility to the planet. The company has long been a leader in sustainability, investing in fuel-efficient vehicles, eco-friendly facilities, and alternative energy sources to reduce its carbon footprint and contribute to a more sustainable future. Today, FedEx stands as a $90 billion global enterprise, delivering goods and services to millions of customers across every corner of the world. Fred Smith's bold vision, unwavering commitment, and relentless pursuit of innovation transformed a small startup into one of the most powerful brands in history. Fred Smith's journey is a testament to the power of visionary thinking. His ability to see the future of logistics, even when the industry was skeptical, has left an indelible mark on global commerce. FedEx's rise from a small operation to a global powerhouse is a story of persistence, ingenuity, and a relentless belief in the power of connection. And as FedEx continues to evolve, Fred Smith's legacy lives on not just in the millions of packages delivered every day, but in the way the world now connects, communicates, and thrives. Fred Smith's impact on the world is impossible to overstate. As the founder and driving force behind FedEx, Smith redefined what was possible in global logistics, transforming a fledgling company into a multi-billion-dollar empire that has revolutionized how goods are moved across the globe. From its humble beginnings in 1971, FedEx has grown into one of the most powerful brands in the world. Smith's vision was clear from the start: create a fast, reliable shipping system that would connect people and businesses like never before. But his impact extends far beyond the logistics industry. He changed the way the global economy operates. Smith's key insight was the idea of an integrated transportation network, combining air and ground services to offer overnight delivery, something that hadn't been done before. By developing a seamless system that could guarantee deliveries from coast to coast, he essentially invented the express shipping industry, filling a critical gap in the market for fast, reliable service. His impact on logistics is profound. In the decades since, FedEx has become the backbone of global commerce, supporting everything from e-commerce to international trade. FedEx handles millions of shipments every day, connecting businesses in every corner of the globe. Smith's vision created an industry where the speed of delivery became a competitive edge, forcing competitors to adapt or fall behind. Smith didn't just build a domestic shipping company, he envisioned and created a global logistics network. Under his leadership, FedEx expanded into over 120 countries and territories, providing businesses with the ability to move goods across borders as easily as across states. He made the world smaller, bringing people and businesses closer together and facilitating the rise of a truly global economy. Smith's influence went beyond just physical delivery. He was one of the first to integrate technology into logistics, implementing real-time tracking systems that allowed customers to monitor their shipments at every stage. This innovation not only set FedEx apart from competitors but also raised the bar for customer expectations across all industries. Fred Smith's foresight in using technology has been a cornerstone of his success. FedEx's investments in cutting-edge innovations like AI, robotics, and automation have kept the company at the forefront of logistics. As the company expanded, these technologies made it possible to manage increasing volumes of shipments and maintain the high standards of service that customers expect. FedEx was also an early adopter of autonomous vehicles and drones, experimenting with future technologies long before they became mainstream. Smith understood that in an ever-evolving world, staying ahead of the curve was essential. His willingness to invest in these technologies has ensured that FedEx remains a leader, not just in logistics but in innovation. But Fred Smith's influence extends beyond the business world. FedEx has been an essential partner in global humanitarian efforts, delivering aid to communities in need during times of crisis. Whether it's providing disaster relief, delivering vaccines, or aiding in recovery efforts, FedEx plays a vital role in supporting communities around the world. Under Smith's leadership, FedEx has also taken significant strides towards sustainability. The company has committed to reducing its carbon footprint, investing in electric vehicles, and advancing eco-friendly technologies. Smith recognized early on that success in business comes with a responsibility to the planet, and FedEx has worked to reduce its environmental impact while continuing to lead the industry. Smith's leadership style has had a lasting impact on how businesses treat their employees. At FedEx, he created a culture of respect and empowerment where employees are seen as integral to the company's success. This commitment to a strong company culture has resulted in a dedicated workforce that consistently strives to uphold FedEx's reputation for excellence. Fred Smith's influence on the business world is also evident in his role as a mentor and thought leader. Over the years, he's shared his insights with other entrepreneurs and business leaders, offering advice on leadership, innovation, and the importance of adaptability. His ability to lead by example and inspire others has made him one of the most respected figures in business. Smith's contributions have been widely recognized. He's received numerous awards and honors, not just for his business acumen, but for his leadership in advancing technology, fostering global trade, and improving the quality of life for millions of people worldwide. Fred Smith's legacy is etched into the fabric of modern business. From the creation of FedEx to its groundbreaking innovations and global expansion, his work has forever changed the way we think about logistics, technology, and the interconnectedness of the global marketplace. Fred Smith's impact is undeniable. What started as a single bold idea has transformed into a company that touches every part of the world's economy. FedEx is a symbol of efficiency, innovation, and global connectivity, and Fred Smith's relentless drive has made it all possible. As Fred Smith steps away from the CEO role, his influence on FedEx and the world will continue to resonate. His commitment to excellence, innovation, and global commerce has left a legacy that will shape industries and businesses for generations to come. Fred Smith's journey is one of vision, resilience, and transformation. What began as a revolutionary idea in 1971 to create a company that could guarantee overnight delivery has grown into a global titan. FedEx today is more than just a logistics company. It's an integral part of the global economy, connecting people, businesses, and entire nations. Smith's leadership, driven by his relentless pursuit of excellence, has shaped not only FedEx but the entire logistics industry. His insistence on technological innovation, from real-time tracking to automation and AI, has set the standard for what a global delivery network should be. While others in the industry focused on the basics of transportation, Smith saw an interconnected world that demanded speed, precision, and reliability. Over the years, Fred Smith's influence expanded far beyond logistics. He became a visionary for the digital age, understanding early on that e-commerce would change the face of global commerce forever. As a result, FedEx became the backbone of online shopping, helping businesses and consumers move goods with unprecedented speed. His leadership wasn't just about technology and profits. Smith built a culture of respect and dedication at FedEx, focusing on his employees as the company's greatest asset. He fostered a workplace where teamwork, innovation, and customer-first thinking drove the success of one of the world's largest logistics companies. Fred Smith also recognized the responsibility of leading a global company in a world that faces increasing environmental challenges. Under his leadership, FedEx has prioritized sustainability, investing in energy-efficient technologies and reducing its carbon footprint. Today, FedEx is a model for corporate responsibility, proving that profitability and environmental stewardship can coexist. As Fred Smith steps away from his role as CEO, his legacy is secure. The systems, technologies, and corporate culture he instilled will continue to drive FedEx for decades to come. His impact on global commerce and logistics is profound, and his contributions will echo across industries long into the future. Fred Smith didn't just create a company, he transformed the way we live, work, and connect. Through his leadership, FedEx has become a bridge that spans the globe, moving not just packages, but the future itself. His story is a testament to the power of vision, innovation, and the belief that one person's ideas can change the world. As FedEx continues to evolve and adapt to the demands of a changing world, it remains a symbol of what is possible when we push the boundaries of what's expected. Fred Smith's legacy will live on in every package delivered, every innovation sparked, and every community connected. The journey he started continues not just with FedEx, but with the millions of lives touched by the company he built. Fred Smith, a visionary who redefined global logistics and left an indelible mark on the world. In the late 19th century, America was on the verge of a new era, an era defined by rapid industrial growth, innovation, and the expansion of corporate empires. Amid this transformation, one man's vision would not only shape the future of American industry, but redefine wealth and power in ways the world had never seen. That man was John D. Rockefeller. Born in 1839 in Richford, New York, Rockefeller came from humble beginnings. His father, a traveling salesman, was often absent, and his family was far from wealthy. But John's early life was marked by an insatiable drive and ambition that would carry him far beyond the confines of his modest upbringing. The story of Rockefeller's rise begins with the discovery of oil. In the 1860s, oil was seen as little more than a curiosity. But for John D. Rockefeller, it was an opportunity. In 1863, at the age of 24, he entered the fledgling oil industry, securing his first deal in Cleveland, Ohio. By 1870, he founded the Standard Oil Company, a company that would soon dominate the American oil industry and redefine the nature of big business. What followed was nothing short of revolutionary. Rockefeller's keen business sense and relentless pursuit of efficiency led him to innovate at every level of the oil supply chain. From refining to transportation, distribution, and even the creation of pipelines, he sought control over every aspect of production. His methods were bold, often controversial, but they allowed him to corner the market and eliminate competition. Standard Oil's rapid success changed the landscape of American business. By the 1880s, Rockefeller controlled nearly 90% of the U.S. oil industry. His business practices and monopoly would become the focal point of both admiration and criticism. To some, he was a visionary who built the foundation of modern industry. To others, he was a ruthless magnate who crushed his competitors through tactics that ranged from secretive mergers to aggressive price wars. Rockefeller's dominance wasn't without consequences. His monopoly was seen by many as a symbol of the unchecked power of corporate America, leading to public outcry and government intervention. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 was passed partly in response to Standard Oil's monopoly. Despite the challenges, Rockefeller remained resolute in his vision and continued to expand his empire. But Rockefeller was more than just a businessman. As his wealth grew, so did his desire to give back. He became one of the greatest philanthropists in history, donating over $500 million to causes such as education, public health, and scientific research. His contributions helped fund the University of Chicago, the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, and countless other institutions that continue to shape the world today. John D. Rockefeller's legacy is one of both controversy and admiration. He left an indelible mark on the world of business, philanthropy, and American society at large. His rise from modest beginnings to unparalleled success in the oil industry remains one of the most fascinating stories of the American entrepreneurial spirit. John D. Rockefeller, born July 8, 1839, in Richford, New York, would rise from modest beginnings to become the richest man the world had ever known. His early life was shaped by a humble, yet determined upbringing. His father, William Rockefeller, was a traveling salesman, often absent, while his mother, Eliza, took on the role of primary caregiver. Despite their modest means, the Rockefeller family instilled a sense of ambition and discipline in young John. From an early age, Rockefeller demonstrated an aptitude for business. As a young boy, he worked odd jobs to help support his family, but his sharp mind and unyielding work ethic were evident. At age 16, he secured his first full-time job as an assistant bookkeeper, earning $3.50 a week. It was here that he first developed his passion for the intricacies of finance, business organization, and managing resources. In 1859, oil was discovered in Pennsylvania, sparking a rush for black gold. At the time, the oil industry was in its infancy, and few saw its potential. But for John Rockefeller, the discovery of oil represented the future. In 1863, after moving to Cleveland, Ohio, he invested in the oil industry, first entering into the business of refining rather than drilling. He believed that refining oil into kerosene for lighting could revolutionize everyday life. Rockefeller's first significant success came in 1865 when he co-founded the Standard Oil Company with a focus on efficiency and cutting costs. He began consolidating smaller refineries, buying out competitors, and cutting deals with railroads to secure lower transportation rates. His business acumen and ruthless efficiency soon paid off. Within a few years, Standard Oil had become a dominant force in the American oil industry. What made Rockefeller stand out was his innovative approach to business. He implemented strategies to control every aspect of the oil supply chain from production to transportation, refining, and distribution. This vertical integration allowed him to lower costs, eliminate competition, and ensure his company's dominance. By the early 1870s, Standard Oil controlled the majority of U.S. oil refining, a market share that would eventually rise to 90%. Despite Standard Oil's overwhelming success, Rockefeller's business methods came under scrutiny. He was accused of using monopolistic practices, from secretive mergers to coercing railroads into offering exclusive deals. Many saw him as a ruthless businessman, exploiting workers and crushing competition in his quest for dominance. His tactics earned him the moniker robber baron from critics, while others saw him as a visionary. Rockefeller's monopoly led to public outcry and government intervention. In 1890, the U.S. government passed the Sherman Antitrust Act aimed at curbing monopolies and promoting competition. By 1911, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil violated antitrust laws and ordered it to be broken up into 30 for smaller companies. Despite the dissolution of his company, Rockefeller's fortune remained vast. Beyond his business pursuits, Rockefeller was a family man. In 1864, he married Laura Spelman, the daughter of an abolitionist and a school teacher. Together, they had 4 children. Laura played a significant role in Rockefeller's life, influencing his deep commitment to philanthropy and social causes. While his business practices were often controversial, Rockefeller's legacy is also defined by his philanthropy. Over the course of his life, he donated over $500 million to a variety of causes, including education, science, and public health. Among his greatest gifts was the founding of the University of Chicago in 1890 and the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research in 1901, both of which remain influential to this day. In 1913, Rockefeller established the Rockefeller Foundation with a mission to promote the well-being of humanity. His foundation funded groundbreaking work in medicine, including the eradication of hookworm in the southern United States, and later contributed to global health initiatives such as the fight against malaria and yellow fever. As he grew older, Rockefeller withdrew from the day-to-day operations of his businesses, but he remained deeply involved in philanthropy. He lived to see the remarkable success of his charitable endeavors, including the creation of the Rockefeller Center in New York City, a landmark of global commerce and architecture. John D. Rockefeller passed away on May 23, 1937, at the age of 97. By that time, his legacy as both a business tycoon and philanthropist was firmly established. His fortune, which at one point amounted to over 2% of America's GDP, changed the very fabric of American business. And while his wealth and methods were often contentious, his contributions to science, medicine, and education have left a lasting mark on the world. Today, the Rockefeller family continues to influence global commerce, culture, and philanthropy. John D. Rockefeller's story is one of ambition, innovation, and complexity, a tale of a man who both built and changed the very systems that shaped modern capitalism. From his rise as an oil magnate to his later years as a philanthropist, Rockefeller's impact on the world is a legacy that still resonates today. In the late 19th century, the American industrial landscape was about to be forever transformed. A new kind of empire was being built not through railroads or steel, but through a commodity that was still in its infancy: oil. At the heart of this transformation stood a man who would reshape not just the oil industry, but the entire American economy: John D. Rockefeller. In 1870, Rockefeller co-founded the Standard Oil Company in Cleveland, Ohio. At the time, oil was a new and somewhat volatile business, with the primary use being kerosene for lighting. The idea of building a global empire around oil was a risky gamble, but for Rockefeller, it was an opportunity to establish something far bigger than just a refinery. His vision was simple yet profound: control every aspect of the oil supply chain, from drilling to transportation to refining and distribution. Rockefeller's strategy was built on a principle of efficiency. Rather than simply refining oil, he sought to optimize every stage of the production process. He recognized that transportation, storage, and even marketing could be sources of waste and inefficiency, so he set out to eliminate these problems. One of Rockefeller's first bold moves was to negotiate exclusive contracts with railroad companies, securing discounted shipping rates for Standard Oil. This allowed him to lower his production costs, while his competitors paid higher rates. The advantage was clear. While others struggled to make a profit, Rockefeller's refineries thrived. He was soon able to undercut his competitors by selling oil at lower prices, driving them out of business or forcing them to sell their assets. Standard Oil's rise was not just about outpacing competitors. It was about gaining control. Rockefeller's genius lay in his ability to consolidate. He merged smaller refineries, bought out competitors, and integrated vertically. By controlling everything from the oil wells to the refineries, the pipelines to the retail outlets, Rockefeller built an empire that allowed Standard Oil to dominate every part of the oil industry. The efficiency Rockefeller created through his control over every stage of the oil process made Standard Oil a force of nature in American industry. By 1882, Standard Oil was incorporated as a trust, an arrangement that allowed Rockefeller to centralize decision-making and maintain his overwhelming control, even as he spread out his holdings into different companies. As Standard Oil expanded, so did its influence. The company's tentacles reached deep into the fabric of American society. From railroads to shipping companies, from pipelines to the refining process, Rockefeller's company touched nearly every part of the American economy, and with each move, he became more powerful. But with great power came intense criticism. As Standard Oil's market share grew, so did accusations of unfair practices. Rockefeller was often accused of using unscrupulous tactics to eliminate competition. Critics argued that his company's monopoly stifled innovation and created a distorted market. Terms like robber baron were coined, as his practices led many to view him as a symbol of corporate greed. Public backlash reached a fever pitch, and by the 1890s, the U.S. government began to take notice. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890, aimed at curbing monopolistic practices, was passed largely in response to the growing dominance of companies like Standard Oil. Rockefeller's business methods were under increasing scrutiny, and in 1911, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil violated antitrust laws, ordering it to be broken up into 30 for smaller companies. The breakup of Standard Oil, while a blow to Rockefeller's unified empire, did little to diminish his personal fortune. In fact, many of the companies created from the split Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, and others grew into dominant players in their own right. Despite losing control of his empire, Rockefeller remained one of the wealthiest men in the world. What drove John Rockefeller was more than just a desire for wealth, it was a relentless pursuit of order and efficiency. His belief in the power of organization, structure, and the careful management of resources allowed him to build an empire unlike any the world had ever seen. He was a man obsessed with control, not just of oil, but of business itself. But Rockefeller was not just a business tycoon. As Standard Oil grew, so did his wealth. And with that wealth came an increasing sense of responsibility. In the latter years of his life, Rockefeller turned his attention to philanthropy, giving away more than $500 million to causes like education, health care, and scientific research. His contributions laid the foundation for institutions that continue to influence the world today. John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil not only revolutionized the oil industry but changed the very nature of American business. His monopoly altered the course of capitalism, influencing the structure of corporations for generations. His name became synonymous with the rise of corporate America, and his influence still reverberates through modern industries today. In the end, Standard Oil's legacy is as complex as its founder. For some, Rockefeller was a visionary who transformed the oil industry and contributed to America's rise as an industrial superpower. For others, he was a symbol of unchecked corporate power whose monopoly left a lasting impact on American law and society. Regardless of perspective, one truth remains clear: John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil was one of the defining forces of the modern industrial era. John D. Rockefeller's legacy is one of the most profound in the history of American industry. From his early days in Cleveland to the height of his empire, his influence transformed the world of business and beyond. His impact was not just limited to the oil industry. It rippled through every aspect of modern capitalism, business practices, and philanthropy. At the core of Rockefeller's influence was his ability to reorganize, refine, and scale industries in ways that were previously unimaginable. Through his creation of Standard Oil, he pioneered the concepts of vertical integration and monopoly, giving birth to an entirely new model of business that would dominate the American economy for generations. Rockefeller understood that to control an industry, you must control every aspect of it. His practice of buying up competitors, consolidating operations, and securing exclusive deals with railroads allowed him to dominate the oil industry. By 1882, Standard Oil controlled nearly 90% of U.S. oil production. His success didn't come from just refining oil, but from eliminating inefficiencies at every step, from drilling to transportation to refining to distribution. But his methods weren't without controversy. Rockefeller's monopolistic control of the oil industry made him a lightning rod for criticism. His aggressive tactics to eliminate competition, including secretive mergers and manipulation of prices, earned him the moniker of robber baron. Critics argued that Standard Oil's monopoly stifled innovation, crushed smaller businesses, and created an unfair economic landscape. The public backlash was so intense that it led to the creation of antitrust laws, with the Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 specifically targeting monopolistic practices. In 1911, the U.S. Supreme Court ordered Standard Oil to break into 30 for separate companies, an action that forever changed the nature of corporate power in America. While Rockefeller's empire was broken up, the effects of his legacy lived on. Many of the companies that emerged from Standard Oil's breakup, Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, and others continued to grow and dominate the oil industry for decades. In a sense, the breakup only cemented Rockefeller's legacy, as the companies he built from the ground up would continue to influence the world for generations. But Rockefeller's impact wasn't just in business. As his wealth grew, so did his commitment to philanthropy. By the time of his death in 1937, Rockefeller had given away more than $500 million, an astonishing sum in his time. His philanthropic endeavors helped build the University of Chicago, establish the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, and create numerous charitable foundations that have supported education, public health, and scientific advancement. The Rockefeller Foundation, established in 1913, became one of the largest and most influential philanthropic organizations in the world. Its early efforts focused on fighting diseases like malaria and yellow fever, both in the United States and globally. By funding medical research and public health initiatives, Rockefeller's wealth became a tool for global change. Today, the Rockefeller Foundation continues to tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges, including climate change, health care, and sustainable development. Rockefeller's vision of using wealth for the betterment of humanity continues to inspire philanthropists and organizations worldwide. Perhaps one of his most visible legacies is the Rockefeller Center in New York City. Completed in 1933, this iconic complex stands as a testament to Rockefeller's far-reaching vision. Not only did it reshape the skyline of Manhattan, but it also became a symbol of American business prowess and modern urban planning. John D. Rockefeller's influence extended far beyond his own lifetime. The Rockefeller family has remained a prominent force in global finance, philanthropy, and culture. His descendants have continued his work, building institutions, advancing medical research, and supporting causes that improve the lives of millions of people worldwide. Rockefeller's approach to business, focusing on efficiency, scale, and the elimination of competition, laid the groundwork for the modern corporate world. His practices, both admired and criticized, helped establish the framework for the globalized economy we know today. In many ways, he shaped the rise of multinational corporations and the expansion of American economic influence on the world stage. His legacy, however, is not without its contradictions. While he brought unparalleled efficiency and wealth to America, his monopolistic practices also raised questions about the concentration of power in the hands of a few. His story is a reminder of the complexities of capitalism, how one man's vision can both create immense wealth and provoke widespread inequality. Today, John D. Rockefeller's influence is still felt in nearly every facet of American life. His oil empire not only fueled the Industrial Revolution but laid the groundwork for the corporate giants of the 20th and 21st centuries. His business strategies are studied in universities, and his philanthropic efforts continue to impact lives across the globe. Rockefeller's legacy is one of immense complexity, an empire built on innovation and ruthless business practices, yet defined by an enduring commitment to philanthropy. Whether viewed as a visionary, a monopolist, or a philanthropist, his impact on America and the world is undeniable. The story of John D. Rockefeller is, in many ways, the story of modern capitalism itself. John D. Rockefeller passed away in 1937 at the age of 97, but his legacy remains a defining force in both American business and global philanthropy. A man of contradictions, he built an empire that transformed the global economy while simultaneously becoming a symbol of the power and pitfalls of monopolistic practices. Though Standard Oil was dissolved in 1911 under the pressure of antitrust laws, The companies that emerged from its breakup, Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, continued to shape the oil industry, reaffirming the lasting influence of Rockefeller's vision. His dominance in the industry had set the stage for the global energy sector, with companies that still play a vital role in the world today. Yet, it wasn't just his corporate empire that defined Rockefeller's impact. As his wealth grew, so did his commitment to philanthropy. Over his lifetime, he gave away more than $500 million, laying the foundation for institutions that continue to influence the world. His creation of the University of Chicago, the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, and the Rockefeller Foundation were just the beginning of a lasting philanthropic legacy. The Rockefeller Foundation remains one of the world's most influential philanthropic organizations, tackling issues from global health to climate change. Its early work in eradicating diseases like hookworm and malaria helped reshape public health efforts in both the U.S. and across the globe. The University of Chicago, one of his most significant gifts, became a powerhouse of intellectual thought, scientific discovery, and economic research. Its research has transformed everything from economics to medicine, touching lives in ways that Rockefeller could have only dreamed of when he first made his donation. In business, Rockefeller's legacy is seen in every multinational corporation that controls a global supply chain. His focus on efficiency, vertical integration, and scale revolutionized not only the oil industry but the way businesses operate today. His methods are studied in business schools and emulated by companies striving for dominance. His success in the oil industry paved the way for today's energy giants. In many ways, the landscape of modern corporate America was shaped by the principles he set in motion, where business empires stretched across national borders and became interwoven with governments, politics, and global markets. The Rockefeller Center, one of the most iconic landmarks in New York City, stands as a lasting monument to Rockefeller's impact on American culture. It is a physical symbol of his influence, not just in business, but in urban development, architecture, and public life. The center continues to thrive as a hub for commerce, art, and entertainment, a place where his legacy is felt every day. Today, the Rockefeller family continues to be a force for change, carrying forward the vision that John D. Rockefeller started. Whether through the Rockefeller Foundation, investments in renewable energy, or supporting social causes, the family's work continues to shape global development, education, and health care. John D. Rockefeller's legacy is a tapestry woven with both admiration and controversy. His wealth, power, and ambition reshaped industries, countries, and lives. But his commitment to philanthropy demonstrates that his story is far more than that of a robber baron. It's a story of a man who, for all his ruthlessness in business, also sought to use his wealth for the betterment of society. From the oil fields of Pennsylvania to the global financial hubs of today, John D. Rockefeller's influence is still felt. His life serves as a testament to the power of vision, ambition, and the far-reaching consequences of both success and excess. Whether viewed as a villain or a visionary, one thing is certain: his impact on the world will endure for generations to come. In the world of tech and innovation, few figures have shaped the digital landscape quite like Evan Spiegel. Born on June 4, 1990, in Los Angeles, California, Spiegel was raised in a world where Silicon Valley's influence loomed large, but his path to becoming one of the youngest billionaires in history was far from typical. From a young age, Spiegel exhibited a sharp mind and an entrepreneurial spirit, two traits that would define his career. He was a natural at building connections and innovating from the start. During his years at Stanford University, he immersed himself in design and product development, where he met co-founders Bobby Murphy and Reggie Brown. The trio's partnership would eventually give rise to one of the most influential social platforms of the 21st century, Snapchat. But Snapchat wasn't born overnight. Initially conceived as a simple idea one where photos would disappear after being viewed, Spiegel's concept quickly evolved. This fleeting nature of communication tapped into something deeper about how young people wanted to connect. But the journey to making Snapchat a household name was filled with setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. In the competitive world of tech, success is never guaranteed. Spiegel faced skepticism from investors and struggled with the question of whether his vision could become more than just a passing trend. His insistence on maintaining control of Snapchat, a decision that at times seemed like a risk, would eventually prove to be one of his most defining moves. As Snapchat evolved, Spiegel continued to push the envelope, expanding the app into a multimedia platform and introducing features like stories, which would reshape the way people interacted with digital content. Evan's story isn't just about innovation, it's about resilience. It's about navigating the complexities of Silicon Valley's fast-paced, high-risk environment while staying true to his vision. Today, as CEO of Snap Inc., Spiegel has not only weathered the storms of the tech world but has also pioneered new forms of communication, giving rise to an entirely new cultural language. But who is the man behind the glasses and the billion-dollar empire? What drives Evan Spiegel? What lessons can we learn from his unique journey, filled with triumphs and failures alike? This is the story of Evan Spiegel, the tech visionary who changed the way the world communicates, and the man who, despite the odds, built an empire on the foundation of simplicity, innovation, and bold decisions. Evan Thomas Spiegel was born on June 4, 1990, in Los Angeles, California, into a world where technology and innovation were already deeply intertwined with everyday life. The son of a successful lawyer and a former model, Evan was raised in a privileged environment that exposed him to the dynamic worlds of both business and media. However, from a young age, it was clear that Evan was driven by his own passions, particularly in design and technology. Evan's journey into the tech world began at Stanford University, where he studied product design. It was here that his interest in the intersection of technology and communication truly took off. But it wasn't just academic achievement that defined his time at Stanford. His entrepreneurial spirit was already beginning to take shape. He teamed up with two classmates, Bobby Murphy and Reggie Brown, to develop a mobile app that would later become one of the most influential platforms of the digital age. In 2011, Spiegel, Murphy, and Brown launched the app called Peekaboo, which allowed users to send photos that disappeared after being viewed. While the initial idea was simple, it tapped into a growing desire for more private, ephemeral communication in the digital world. Soon after, the team rebranded the app as Snapchat, a move that would set the stage for one of the most groundbreaking transformations in the social media landscape. At first, Snapchat was met with skepticism. Critics doubted that people would embrace the idea of sending photos that vanished in seconds. But Evan Spiegel, always the visionary, believed that the impermanence of digital communication had the power to change how people connected. The app quickly gained popularity among teenagers who saw the potential for more genuine, less polished interactions. Despite the app's growing user base, Snapchat faced several early challenges. For one, Spiegel and his team struggled to convince investors to take the app seriously. Many doubted its staying power and were skeptical of the monetization potential. But Spiegel remained steadfast, sticking to his belief that Snapchat was something unique. He rejected multiple buyout offers from giants like Facebook, who attempted to purchase the platform, a move that many saw as risky. Spiegel's decision to maintain control over Snapchat paid off. Over the next few years, Snapchat evolved from a photo-sharing app into a multimedia platform that integrated stories, video messaging, and augmented reality filters. Features like these reshaped the social media experience and set Snapchat apart from its competitors. The introduction of the Snapchat Stories feature, in particular, would later be replicated by nearly every major social media platform, from Instagram to Facebook, signaling its undeniable influence. Spiegel's leadership, however, was not without controversy. As Snapchat CEO, he often faced criticism for being secretive, stubborn, and reluctant to change course, even when the platform's growth slowed. Yet, his persistence and confidence in his vision continued to drive the company forward. In 2017, Snap Inc. went public with its IPO, raising billions and making Spiegel one of the youngest self-made billionaires in history at just 26 years old. However, success was not without its struggles. After Snapchat's IPO, the company faced intense competition from other social media platforms, most notably Instagram, which adopted many of Snapchat's key features. In response, Spiegel pushed for constant innovation, leading the company to explore new frontiers like augmented reality and original content. Despite fluctuating stock prices and financial challenges, Spiegel's determination to maintain Snap's independence has remained unwavering. Beyond business, Evan Spiegel's personal life has also been a subject of public interest. In 2017, he married Miranda Kerr, a former Victoria's Secret supermodel, in a low-key ceremony. Their relationship has become one of Hollywood's most high-profile, yet private, unions. Together, they have children and have largely kept their personal lives away from the public eye, a contrast to the transparency and connectivity that Snapchat promotes. Today, Evan Spiegel continues to steer Snap Inc. into new realms, exploring the possibilities of augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and even wearable technology. Under his leadership, Snap has made bold strides in developing its AR capabilities with products like Spectacles, the company's AR glasses, pushing the boundaries of how we interact with the world through technology. Through his journey, Spiegel has been lauded as a visionary leader who wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo and go against the grain of Silicon Valley's culture. But his story is not just one of business success. It's also about resilience, the refusal to compromise, and the relentless pursuit of a vision. A vision where communication is more authentic, creative, and, in many ways, more human. Evan Spiegel's impact on the world is undeniable. As one of the youngest tech moguls in history, he has forever altered the landscape of social media and digital communication. But the story of Evan Spiegel is far from over. The future is still unfolding, and his next move could very well shape the next generation of technology. In 2011, Evan Spiegel, along with his co-founders Bobby Murphy and Reggie Brown, created an app that would forever change the way people communicated online. It all began as a simple idea: what if photos could disappear after being viewed? This idea, birthed from Spiegel's desire to make digital communication more genuine and less curated, quickly evolved into something far bigger: Snapchat. Originally called Peekaboo, the app was designed to allow users to send photos that vanished after a few seconds. Spiegel, ever the visionary, believed that this impermanence could solve a growing problem in the digital age: the pressure to curate and filter every aspect of one's online persona. The app allowed people to share moments without the worrying of them being permanently documented and archived on the internet. However, success did not come immediately. In its early days, Snapchat struggled to gain traction, with many people questioning the need for such an app. Critics argued that photos disappearing after being seen was a gimmick, that it would only appeal to a small, niche group. But Evan Spiegel's belief in the power of impermanent communication fueled his perseverance. He didn't just want to create another social network. He wanted to reimagine how people could interact with each other in the digital space. By 2012, Snapchat was gaining momentum, particularly among teenagers, who saw it as a platform for more authentic and spontaneous interactions. In a world where everything online was becoming permanent, Snapchat's disappearing messages gave users a sense of freedom. No longer did they have to worry about a moment captured in a photo haunting them forever. It was a digital world where mistakes could be made, where vulnerability was allowed, and where people could engage without the pressure of perfection. Snapchat's true rise began in 2013 when the app introduced Stories. The feature allowed users to post a series of photos and videos that would remain visible to their friends for 24 hours before disappearing. Stories would go on to revolutionize the way people shared their lives. Unlike other platforms where posts were static and permanent, Snapchat Stories were dynamic, offering a more fleeting, in-the-moment way to experience someone's day. It was a game changer. In 2014, Facebook made a bold move to acquire Snapchat, offering a reported $3 billion for the app. Spiegel, still in his 20s and with a clear vision for his company, rejected the offer. He refused to sell, opting instead to build something unique on his own terms. It was a decision that would define his career. Despite initial skepticism, Spiegel's belief that Snapchat was more than just a messaging app began to gain widespread recognition. The following year, in 2015, Snapchat introduced Discover, a feature that brought media companies, publishers, and celebrities to the app, offering curated content to users. This move marked Snapchat's transition from a simple photo-sharing app into a full-fledged multimedia platform. With Discover, Spiegel aimed to blend entertainment, news, and social media, offering users a way to consume content while still interacting with friends. Evan Spiegel is more than just a Silicon Valley CEO. He's a pioneer who forever altered how we communicate, share, and consume information in the digital age. As the co-founder and CEO of Snap Inc., Spiegel's influence goes far beyond the creation of Snapchat. His vision has reshaped the entire social media landscape, creating new standards for how people interact with technology and one another. When Spiegel first launched Snapchat in 2011, few could have predicted the massive impact the app would have on both the tech world and society at large. Snapchat introduced the concept of ephemeral communication messages and images that disappeared after being viewed. At a time when social media was dominated by permanent posts, this shift was radical. It offered a way for people, especially younger users, to interact online without the pressure of maintaining a perfectly curated digital identity. This idea of impermanence sparked a cultural shift. Users could now share spontaneous moments, mistakes, and feelings without the fear that everything they posted would live on forever. Snapchat became a space where authenticity, not perfection, was celebrated. It gave rise to the real internet, where users didn't just share their highlights, they shared their lives, raw and unfiltered. Spiegel didn't stop there. His relentless drive to innovate transformed Snapchat into more than just a messaging app. In 2013, Snapchat introduced Stories, a feature that allowed users to post a series of photos and videos that lasted for 24 hours before disappearing. The Stories format has since been adopted by almost every major social media platform, from Instagram to Facebook. Today, it's hard to imagine a world without Stories, a testament to how Spiegel's bold ideas reshaped digital storytelling. But Spiegel didn't stop at reshaping how people communicated. He saw Snapchat as a multimedia platform with enormous potential. In 2015, the company introduced Discover, a feature that allowed major media companies to create short-form content for Snapchat's audience. This was a direct challenge to traditional forms of media, turning Snapchat into a place not only for personal communication, but also for news, entertainment, and advertising. Discover gave a new generation a way to access breaking news and curated content, all within the same platform they used to send silly selfies. In 2016, Spiegel pushed the boundaries even further by introducing Spectacles, Snapchat's very own augmented reality glasses. While this product didn't achieve the same level of success as the app, it showcased Spiegel's forward-thinking approach to technology. He envisioned a world where augmented reality and social media would seamlessly merge, and Spectacles was his first step toward making that vision a reality. Spiegel's insistence on pursuing innovative ideas, sometimes at the expense of immediate profits, highlighted his long-term view of technology. Spiegel's refusal to sell Snapchat, despite lucrative buyout offers, is perhaps one of the most defining aspects of his impact. When Facebook offered $3 billion for Snapchat in 2013, many advised Spiegel to take the money and run, but he resisted, believing that the company's future potential far outweighed any short-term gain. This decision not only solidified Spiegel's commitment to his vision, but also set the tone for how he would approach the growth and development of Snap Inc. Under his leadership, Snapchat evolved from a simple app to a multifaceted platform, from Lens's interactive filters that use augmented reality to Snap Maps, which allows users to see where their friends are in real time. Spiegel's ability to predict and adapt to the changing needs of users has kept Snapchat relevant, even as competitors like Instagram copied key features. He saw early on that augmented reality was not just a novelty, but the next frontier of social media, and his company has worked tirelessly to lead the charge. Perhaps one of his greatest contributions is the way he has redefined how brands approach marketing. Snapchat has become a platform where advertisers need to think outside the box. With its short-form, vertical videos and creative ad formats, Spiegel has made it clear that traditional advertising methods are not enough in the age of social media. Brands now have to engage users in innovative ways, whether through interactive filters, sponsored lenses, or branded stories to capture their attention. Spiegel has also made a lasting mark on privacy and user control. At a time when social media platforms have been under scrutiny for data privacy concerns, Snapchat's focus on ephemeral communication stands as a stark contrast to the data-hungry practices of many other platforms. Spiegel has always been a champion of user autonomy, emphasizing that Snapchat should serve as a space where people can be themselves, free from the permanent digital footprint that defines so many other platforms. While he is often seen as a Silicon Valley outsider, he's not the classic tech mogul with a huge public presence or aggressive marketing style. Spiegel's influence is undeniable. His impact reaches far beyond Snapchat. Through his leadership, he has inspired an entire generation of tech entrepreneurs to focus on creating platforms that prioritize user experience, privacy, and innovation over simply chasing profit. His approach has shown that success doesn't have to come at the cost of authenticity or trust. Today, as the CEO of Snap Inc., Spiegel continues to innovate, introducing new features, products, and technologies that push the boundaries of what's possible in the tech world. From augmented reality to artificial intelligence, Spiegel is building a future where communication, entertainment, and technology merge in ways we can only begin to imagine. In many ways, Evan Spiegel's impact on the world is just beginning. He has already revolutionized the way we communicate, share, and interact online, but his vision of a future shaped by immersive technologies, including augmented reality and machine learning, will likely define the next era of digital interaction. As Snapchat continues to evolve, so too will the legacy of Evan Spiegel, one of the most influential figures in the history of modern tech. As we conclude this journey through the life and legacy of Evan Spiegel, it's clear that his story is far from over. What started as a simple idea to make photos disappear has blossomed into a global tech empire, one that continues to evolve, shape, and disrupt the digital world. But beyond the billion-dollar valuations, Snapchat's true influence lies in how it has forever changed the way we communicate, interact, and experience the world. Spiegel's ability to stay true to his vision, even in the face of enormous pressure, is one of the defining characteristics of his career. When the world doubted him, when investors and critics questioned the longevity of Snapchat, he never wavered. His commitment to creating a platform that valued authenticity over perfection, that allowed users to communicate without the fear of permanent digital footprints, has resonated deeply with millions. In many ways, Snapchat became a cultural movement, a reflection of a generation's desire for more genuine, fleeting connections in a world where everything else seemed curated and staged. Under his leadership, Snap Inc. has not only survived but thrived. From the introduction of stories to the exploration of augmented reality with lenses and spectacles, Spiegel's vision for the future of social media has consistently pushed the envelope. He saw the potential for a new kind of digital experience, one that blended creativity, self-expression, and cutting-edge technology. Through Snapchat, he brought augmented reality into the mainstream, changing how we view and interact with the world around us. Spiegel's rejection of Facebook's $3 billion acquisition offer in 2013 will go down as one of the most defining moments in tech history. At the time, many saw it as a reckless move, but in hindsight, it was a masterstroke. His refusal to sell showed the world that Snapchat was never just about money, it was about creating something transformative, something that would change how we live online. His leadership and vision have always been about the long game, and it's that long-term thinking that has shaped Snap Inc. into the innovative force it is today. Yet, it hasn't been without challenges. The rise of competitors like Instagram, the pressure to maintain growth, and the constant demands of an ever-changing digital world have all tested Spiegel's resolve. But instead of yielding to the pressure, he has used these challenges as fuel for innovation. Snapchat's emphasis on augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and user-centric design continues to set it apart from its competitors. The app may have been imitated, but it has never been replicated. What's most striking about Evan Spiegel is his ability to remain focused on what truly matters: his users. In a tech world often driven by growth at all costs, Spiegel has consistently placed an emphasis on privacy, authenticity, and mental well-being. Snapchat's ephemeral nature, its light-hearted filters, and its focus on real-time, unpolished content have created a space where people can be themselves, free from the pressure to perform. And in a world where digital anxiety is on the rise, that may be one of the most important contributions to date. As a leader, Spiegel's quiet, sometimes even reserved demeanor stands in contrast to the brashness often associated with Silicon Valley moguls. Yet, it is this calm determination, paired with his unwavering belief in his vision, that has made him one of the most influential figures of his generation. Underneath the cool exterior, Spiegel has always been laser-focused on one thing: changing the way people connect, communicate, and experience the world. Today, Snap Inc. continues to push the boundaries of what's possible. With innovations in augmented reality, AI, and even the development of new hardware, Spiegel is laying the groundwork for the next frontier of digital communication. And while Snapchat may have been the catalyst for his success, it's clear that his work has only just begun. The future of Snap, and of Evan Spiegel himself, will be defined by even greater leaps forward in technology, ones that could alter the way we see the world and interact with one another forever. In many ways, Evan Spiegel's journey is a testament to the power of vision and resilience. He has shown the world that sometimes the greatest achievements come not from following the crowd, but from daring to chart your own course. As he looks ahead, it's clear that the digital landscape will continue to evolve in ways we can only begin to imagine, and Evan Spiegel will undoubtedly be at the forefront of that change, continuing to shape the world of tomorrow. The story of Evan Spiegel is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. And as technology continues to advance, one thing is certain: his influence will remain, shaping the future of digital communication for generations to come. In the heart of Silicon Valley, one name stands out as a symbol of disruption and innovation: Brian Chesky. Born on August 29, 1981, in Niskayuna, New York, Chesky grew up with an entrepreneurial spirit and a passion for design. As a child, he had a knack for creating things, from toys to intricate models. But it wasn't until he enrolled at the Rhode Island School of Design that he began to realize how his creative instincts could change the world. Chesky's journey into the world of tech began after he graduated in 2004, when he moved to San Francisco with his co-founder, Joe Gebbia. Together, they would lay the foundation for what would become Airbnb, one of the most revolutionary companies in the history of the travel industry, but their path to success wasn't easy. In fact, it started with a simple yet bold idea. They rented out air mattresses in their apartment to help cover their rent during a busy conference in the city. It was an idea born out of necessity, but it soon evolved into something far larger. At first, the concept seemed outlandish. Who would want to stay in a stranger's home? But Chesky and Gebbia believed in the potential of this idea of offering people unique, authentic travel experiences, of connecting hosts with guests in a way traditional hotels never could. It was a challenge to get the concept off the ground. They faced financial struggles, skepticism from investors, and the constant battle of convincing people to trust a service that was completely new and unfamiliar. But Chesky's vision and determination never wavered. In 2008, the trio was joined by Nathan Blecherczyk, who helped develop the platform's technical infrastructure, and Airbnb was born. The company initially struggled to gain traction, but a combination of creativity, relentless marketing, and a commitment to providing customers with unparalleled experiences slowly started to pay off. Airbnb's model, empowering ordinary people to open their homes to strangers, resonated with people all over the world. The idea of belonging anywhere became the core of Airbnb's ethos, and the company quickly became a global sensation. Chesky, as the CEO, was no stranger to the challenges of leadership. From navigating regulatory battles to handling rapid growth, he always kept the company focused on its mission: to create a world where anyone could find a place to stay and feel at home, no matter where they were. What started as a small idea to solve a personal financial problem grew into a multi-billion-dollar company that redefined the way we think about travel, hospitality, and community. But Brian Chesky's story isn't just about business success, it's about vision, resilience, and the belief that one small idea can change the world. His journey has been filled with setbacks, surprises, and moments of doubt, but through it all, his unwavering belief in the power of human connection has guided him. Today, Airbnb is a household name, and Chesky's impact on the world of travel and entrepreneurship is undeniable. Brian Chesky was born on August 29, 1981, in Niskayuna, New York, to a middle-class family. His father, a social worker, and his mother, an artist, provided him with a nurturing environment where creativity and hard work were valued. From a young age, Brian showed a deep interest in design and art, which would shape his future career. He attended the Rhode Island School of Design, RISD, one of the country's top design schools, where he would meet his future co-founder, Joe Gebbia. Chesky, a product design major, was drawn to the idea of solving problems through design. At RISD, he began to hone his skills in product and industrial design. But he didn't just want to create for the sake of creating. He wanted to design in a way that would have a real impact. His creativity was paired with a natural entrepreneurial instinct, which led him to explore how design could merge with business in innovative ways. After graduating in 2004, Chesky moved to San Francisco with Joe Gebbia. The two were struggling to make ends meet with no clear direction in sight. But instead of giving up, they decided to take a bold risk, an idea born out of necessity. San Francisco was hosting a major design conference and hotels were fully booked. To cover their rent, Chesky and Gebbia decided to rent out air mattresses in their living room to conference attendees. They named it Air Bed and Breakfast, and the idea was simple: offer a place to stay for those who couldn't find a hotel. This small experiment would become the seed for what would eventually be known as Airbnb. They soon realized that their idea could do more than just solve a financial problem, it could change the way people traveled. The two pitched their idea to friends and family, but there was skepticism. No one wanted to stay in a stranger's home. Despite the doubt, they pressed on. They took out a loan, bought a few air mattresses, and launched a simple website that would allow anyone to rent out a room in their home. It was a tough start. They faced a series of failures, from getting rejected by investors to dealing with the technical glitches of the platform. But they were determined. In 2008, the trio Chesky, Gebbia, and their third co-founder, Nathan Blecharczyk, who came on board to help with the technology, officially founded Airbnb. They struggled in those early days, even resorting to selling limited edition cereal boxes in order to fund their startup. They created Obama O's and Cap McCain's during the 2008 U.S. presidential election, raising a small but crucial sum of money to keep the company alive. Despite these hurdles, Chesky's leadership, combined with his co-founder's passion, began to build momentum. Their breakthrough moment came in 2009, when they were accepted into the Y Combinator Startup Accelerator. This gave them not only credibility, but also the resources to refine their platform and scale it. From there, Airbnb's growth skyrocketed. What began as a small idea for renting air mattresses turned into a global platform that allowed anyone to list, discover, and book accommodations anywhere in the world. Airbnb's success was based on Chesky's commitment to user experience, design, and trust, key components that set it apart from traditional hospitality. Chesky's philosophy was simple yet profound. Airbnb wasn't just about renting homes. It was about creating a sense of belonging. From the beginning, he wanted to create a platform where people felt like they were more than just customers, they were part of a global community. He promoted the idea that Airbnb could offer not just a place to stay, but a place to connect, to experience different cultures, and to build lasting memories. By 2011, Airbnb was already a household name. But Chesky and his team were just getting started. They continued to innovate, introducing new features like the Airbnb mobile app, which allowed users to book on the go, and Airbnb experiences, which allowed travelers to book unique, local activities hosted by locals. This shift from just providing accommodations to offering unique, authentic experiences changed the nature of the travel industry. Despite the success, Chesky faced several challenges. Airbnb's rapid growth put the company under intense scrutiny, with numerous legal battles and regulatory challenges from cities around the world. Critics argued that Airbnb was driving up rental prices and contributing to housing shortages in some areas. However, Chesky remained firm in his belief that Airbnb wasn't just a business, it was a force for positive change in the world, fostering human connection and cultural exchange. He worked tirelessly to create partnerships with local governments and communities to address these issues and ensure the platform remained sustainable. Through his leadership, Airbnb continued to expand globally. By 2017, Airbnb had reached over 100 million users, and the platform was available in more than 190 countries. The company was valued at over $30 billion, making Chesky one of the youngest billionaires in the world. But for Chesky, the mission was always more important than the financial rewards. He was determined to build a company that had a lasting impact not just on the travel industry but on how people viewed the concept of home. In 2020, as the world faced the COVID-19 pandemic, Airbnb faced its most significant challenge yet. Travel came to a halt and the company had to lay off 25% of its workforce. However, Chesky's resilience and ability to adapt were on full display as he pivoted the company's focus to domestic and local travel, creating new ways for people to travel safely during the pandemic. Under his leadership, Airbnb survived the crisis and quickly rebounded, showing once again the strength of his vision. Today, Brian Chesky is more than just the CEO of Airbnb. He's a symbol of innovation, resilience, and the power of creativity. His story is one of taking risks, overcoming adversity, and believing in the power of human connection. Chesky didn't just create a company, he helped create a movement, one that changed how we think about travel, hospitality, and community. The story of Airbnb is not just the tale of a company, it's the story of a vision that transformed the way we travel, connect, and experience the world. At the heart of this revolution is Brian Chesky, whose journey from a struggling entrepreneur to the CEO of one of the most disruptive companies in history has reshaped the entire hospitality industry. It all began in 2007. Brian Chesky and his co-founder, Joe Gebbia, were living in a cramped San Francisco apartment, struggling to pay rent. With the city hosting a major design conference, they noticed a shortage of hotel rooms. Seeing an opportunity, they decided to rent out air mattresses in their living room to conference attendees. They called it Air Bed and Breakfast, offering more than just a place to sleep. They promised an experience that was personal, affordable, and unique. What seemed like a short-term solution for a financial problem quickly turned into something much larger. The success of their first experiment was enough to convince them that this idea could go beyond renting air mattresses. They realized that there was a gap in the hospitality market, a space for people to share their homes and offer travelers something different from traditional hotels. In 2008, the duo was joined by Nathan Blecharczyk, a former roommate and engineer who helped build the technical infrastructure for the platform. Together, the trio launched Airbnb, a website designed to let anyone list a room, apartment, or home for rent. They faced skepticism and doubt from both investors and the public. After all, the idea of letting strangers stay in your home was unconventional, and the concept of peer-to-peer lodging was an unknown entity. The road to success was rocky, especially in those early days. Airbnb had no money, no users, and no real backing. To fund their startup, they resorted to selling limited edition cereal boxes during the 2008 presidential election. They released special cereals called Obama O's and Cap McCain's to generate revenue, demonstrating their creative approach to solving financial problems. Despite these efforts, it wasn't until they joined the Y Combinator Accelerator in 2009 that Airbnb began to gain serious momentum. Y Combinator was the breakthrough Airbnb desperately needed. With the guidance and funding they received, they refined their website, and word started to spread. Slowly, people began to see the value in the idea of staying in a stranger's home. What started as a niche market soon began to grow, and more hosts began offering their homes for short-term rental. By 2011, Airbnb was a household name, and it was becoming evident that the company had created something revolutionary. The company's ability to leverage technology to connect hosts with travelers was a game-changer. Unlike traditional hotels, Airbnb provided unique, personalized experiences. People could now stay in homes, apartments, or even castles, places that reflected the culture and character of the city or region they were visiting. The company was not just selling rooms, it was selling authentic travel experiences that hotels could never replicate. One of the company's most pivotal moves was the launch of Airbnb Experiences in 2016. With this new initiative, Airbnb expanded beyond just accommodations to offer travelers activities curated by local hosts. Whether it was a cooking class in a Parisian kitchen or a surfing lesson in Hawaii, Airbnb Experiences allowed guests to truly immerse themselves in the local culture, making their trips more meaningful and personal. But Airbnb's rise wasn't without challenges. Cities around the world, concerned about the impact Airbnb was having on local housing markets, began to impose regulations on short-term rentals. Governments and hotel industries were vocal in their opposition, accusing the company of driving up rental prices and contributing to housing shortages. However, despite these challenges, Chesky and his team remained focused on the bigger picture, building a platform where people could feel like they belonged anywhere in the world. Chesky's leadership during these regulatory battles was crucial. He believed that Airbnb was not just a business, it was a movement. The company wasn't just about accommodations. It was about fostering global human connection, creating opportunities for people to interact with cultures and communities they may never have encountered before. Chesky's personal commitment to the values of belonging, trust, and community were woven into the DNA of Airbnb, even as the company faced resistance from powerful forces. The company's ability to scale quickly was nothing short of impressive. By 2015, Airbnb had expanded to over 190 countries with millions of listings available worldwide. By offering travelers a chance to book unique, personalized accommodations in places they may have never considered, Airbnb created an entirely new way to experience travel. It was no longer just about visiting a destination, it was about living in it, even if only for a few days. With its rapid growth came the pressure to continue innovating. In 2017, Airbnb launched Airbnb Plus, a collection of high-quality homes that met a set of rigorous standards, ensuring travelers had access to consistently great experiences. This helped address concerns about quality and reliability, which had sometimes been a barrier to trust among new users, but Chesky didn't stop there. His vision for the future extended beyond just accommodations. He wanted Airbnb to redefine what it meant to belong anywhere in the world. Despite the success and milestones, Airbnb faced one of its biggest challenges in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic. With global travel at a standstill, the company was forced to rethink its approach. In response, Chesky and his team pivoted quickly, focusing on local and domestic travel while ensuring that hosts and guests could travel safely. This adaptability allowed Airbnb to weather the storm and rebound quickly once the world started to recover. By the time Airbnb went public in December 2020, it was clear that the company had not just survived, it had thrived. With a market valuation that soared to over $100 billion, Airbnb's success wasn't just about profitability. It was about the cultural impact it had made. The company had changed the way people thought about travel, home sharing, and hospitality. Today, Airbnb is a symbol of innovation in the global travel industry. From its humble beginnings as a way to rent out air mattresses to becoming a global leader in alternative accommodations, Airbnb's rise is a testament to the power of an idea, persistence, and the belief that when you trust people to share their space, you're not just offering a room, you're offering a chance to belong. Brian Chesky's impact goes far beyond the creation of Airbnb. He has fundamentally reshaped industries, economies, and even the way we think about home, travel, and human connection. Through his vision, Chesky didn't just build a billion-dollar company. He created a movement that has altered the global landscape in ways that few could have predicted. From the very beginning, his approach was about more than just making money. It was about creating a platform that brings people together. Before Airbnb, the concept of home sharing was mostly seen as an afterthought, something that existed in small, niche markets. But Chesky's genius was in seeing the potential for something bigger. By designing a platform that enabled ordinary people to open their doors to strangers, he revolutionized the travel industry. Airbnb didn't just disrupt hotels, it redefined what hospitality could mean. Instead of staying in a faceless, impersonal hotel room, travelers could now stay in someone's home experiencing the city through the eyes of a local. This fundamental shift allowed people to feel more connected to the places they visited and the people they met. Chesky's belief in the power of community was a key driver behind Airbnb's success. From the outset, he wanted Airbnb to be more than just a marketplace for accommodations. He wanted it to be a place where people could belong. The idea of belonging anywhere became the company's mission, shaping everything from product design to marketing campaigns. This idea wasn't just a slogan, it was a reflection of Chesky's core belief that travel should be about experiences and human connections, not just places to sleep. Under Chesky's leadership, Airbnb expanded rapidly, touching nearly every corner of the globe. By 2015, Airbnb had listings in more than 190 countries, with millions of hosts offering homes, apartments, and even unique spaces like tree houses or castles. This vast expansion didn't just create a global business. It fostered an entirely new economy of micro-entrepreneurs. Double quotes for many people, hosting on Airbnb became a way to make a living, often transforming entire communities and providing additional income to families who might have otherwise struggled. But Chesky's impact wasn't limited to the business world. Airbnb became a symbol of the sharing economy, a model where people could exchange goods and services not through traditional companies but through personal relationships. This model was more democratic, more personal, and more flexible, and it resonated with people all over the world. Chesky helped spearhead a shift in consumer behavior that prioritized experiences and trust over ownership, something that has influenced everything from transportation with companies like Uber to fashion, food, and beyond. Airbnb also had a profound effect on how we view the concept of home. For many travelers, the idea of staying with a local host in their home was a deeply human experience. It was about more than just the physical space, it was about creating moments, memories, and connections with people from diverse cultures. Chesky himself often spoke about how Airbnb wasn't just about renting out a place to stay, it was about connecting with someone in a way that made you feel at home no matter where you were in the world. This reimagining of home, hospitality, and travel has influenced millions of people, and it has helped fuel the growing desire for authentic, meaningful experiences. On a deeper level, Chesky's impact lies in his commitment to trust, safety, and community. From the very beginning, he emphasized building a platform that both hosts and guests could feel confident in. Airbnb introduced ratings, reviews, and a robust review system that helped establish trust between strangers. Chesky understood that trust was the backbone of the entire business, and he worked relentlessly to create systems that protected both hosts and guests from harm. This focus on trust and safety helped elevate Airbnb from just another tech startup to a widely respected global brand. Chesky also spearheaded initiatives to make Airbnb more inclusive. Airbnb's platform was open to all types of people, regardless of nationality, gender, or background. The company actively worked to combat discrimination, ensuring that hosts and guests treated each other with respect and fairness. Chesky's dedication to inclusion and fairness reflected his broader philosophy that technology should serve to bring people closer, not divide them. During Airbnb's early years, Chesky faced significant challenges. Fundraising was difficult, investors were skeptical, and the company had to battle the status quo of the hotel industry. But instead of backing down, Chesky's resilience became part of his identity. His ability to maintain focus on Airbnb's vision, even in the face of intense criticism, played a key role in the company's eventual success. In particular, his decision to turn down a $3 billion buyout offer from Facebook in 2013 was a defining moment. It was a gamble, but it was one that paid off, and it showed the world that Chesky was committed to building something much larger than just a business. It was about creating an institution that could stand the test of time. Chesky's leadership also helped Airbnb survive some of its toughest moments. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020, the travel industry ground to a halt. Airbnb was hit hard, but Chesky quickly pivoted, focusing on domestic travel, cleaning protocols, and providing flexible cancellation policies to accommodate a world in crisis. His decisive actions during the pandemic ensured that Airbnb didn't just survive the global shutdown, it thrived. The company emerged from the crisis more agile, with a renewed focus on safety and community. But Brian Chesky's impact isn't just about Airbnb. He has become a global thought leader on topics ranging from entrepreneurship to technology and social change. His focus on the human side of business has inspired countless entrepreneurs to rethink how they approach their customers, their teams, and their products. He often speaks about how the best businesses are those that solve real human problems, and he has lived this philosophy through Airbnb. As an entrepreneur, Chesky also advocates for a culture of experimentation and resilience. His journey from struggling designer to billionaire CEO was marked by setbacks and failures, but each obstacle only fueled his resolve. His story has become a beacon for entrepreneurs around the world, showing that innovation is not just about having a great idea, but about having the perseverance to bring it to life and stay true to your vision. Ultimately, Chesky's legacy will be remembered for the ways in which he redefined industries, connected people, and created a platform that empowered individuals on a global scale. Today, Airbnb remains one of the most influential companies in the world, and Chesky continues to be a driving force behind the future of travel, technology, and community. As the years passed, Brian Chesky's vision for Airbnb evolved, but his core belief remained unchanged, that travel should be about more than just booking a place to stay. It should be about creating human connections. He didn't just build a company, he built a platform for people to experience a deeper sense of belonging, regardless of where they came from or where they were going. Through his leadership, Airbnb became a symbol of the sharing economy, and Chesky himself became one of the defining entrepreneurs of his generation. In many ways, Chesky's story reflects the power of perseverance. From his early days of struggling to pay rent, to selling limited edition cereal boxes to fund the startup, to facing constant skepticism from investors, the journey was anything but easy. But through every challenge, Chesky's belief in Airbnb's potential never wavered. His unwavering commitment to design, community, and trust became the foundation for Airbnb's success and its transformation into a global powerhouse. Despite the immense growth and financial success, Chesky never lost sight of the human element that powered Airbnb. His focus on providing people with authentic travel experiences, a sense of belonging, and access to local culture resonated deeply with millions of users around the world. In this way, Brian Chesky didn't just disrupt an industry, he redefined it. His company introduced the world to a new way of thinking about hospitality, where personal connections and unique experiences took precedence over traditional accommodations. Even in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, which brought the global travel industry to a standstill, Chesky's leadership proved to be pivotal. He quickly pivoted Airbnb's business model to adapt to a world that was rapidly changing, prioritizing safety, flexibility, and local travel. His resilience and ability to steer the company through one of the most challenging times in its history showcased his adaptability and vision. As Airbnb continues to grow, so does Chesky's influence. He remains focused on building a business that not only meets the needs of the travel industry but also prioritizes the values of empathy, trust, and community. He has made it clear that Airbnb's purpose goes beyond profits. It's about enriching lives and creating connections between people from all walks of life. Brian Chesky's legacy is already secured not just in the billions of dollars Airbnb has generated, but in the millions of personal stories shared between hosts and guests in the communities that have thrived thanks to the sharing economy, and in the ways he has challenged and redefined what business can achieve in the 21st century. Through Airbnb, Chesky has not only disrupted an industry, he's changed the way we look at home, travel, and what it truly means to belong. As the company continues to evolve, so does the vision of its founder. Brian Chesky's journey is far from over. With a passion for creativity, a belief in the power of human connection, and a drive to challenge the status quo, he remains at the forefront of the next wave of innovation in the travel industry. And for millions of people around the world, Airbnb is not just a service, it's a reminder that no matter where we are, we all have the ability to make someone feel at home. Jack Dorsey is a name that has become synonymous with the digital age. Born on November 19, 1976 in St. Louis, Missouri, Dorsey's journey into the world of technology began with a fascination for communication and connectivity. From a young age, he was captivated by the idea of networks, how people interacted, how messages were sent and received, and how systems could be structured. This curiosity would later lead him to create one of the most influential platforms in the world. Dorsey's path to becoming a tech mogul wasn't without its challenges. He studied computer programming and developed an early interest in both coding and design. After dropping out of college, Dorsey's drive to create something revolutionary led him to Silicon Valley in the late 90s, where he would eventually co-found Twitter. However, before Twitter, there was another ambitious project, Square, a company aimed at democratizing payments and making it easier for anyone to accept credit card transactions using a mobile device. What truly sets Dorsey apart is his ability to create products that capture the pulse of the modern world. Twitter, launched in 2006, gave people a real-time platform to communicate, share thoughts, and create movements, shrinking the world in a way that had never been done before. It was simple, effective, and instantly resonated with users across the globe. Today, Twitter has become a cornerstone of the digital communication landscape, with millions of users sharing everything from breaking news to personal opinions. Dorsey's role as a visionary didn't stop with Twitter. In 2009, he launched Square, transforming the way small businesses could engage with consumers by allowing them to accept credit card payments with a small, portable device. Square was revolutionary not just for its technology, but for its ability to empower millions of entrepreneurs around the world, giving them access to financial tools that were once out of reach. As both the co-founder and CEO of Twitter and later as the CEO of Square, Dorsey's influence has grown exponentially. But what makes him truly remarkable is how his companies have become much more than just businesses. They've reshaped industries and changed the way we think about technology, commerce, and communication. Jack Dorsey's journey is one of innovation, persistence, and a relentless drive to make the world more connected, whether through social media, financial transactions, or his overarching belief in the power of technology to solve real-world problems. Jack Dorsey's story is one of ambition, innovation, and resilience. Born on November 19, 1976 in St. Louis, Missouri, Jack was raised in a tech-forward household where he quickly developed an interest in technology and communication. From a young age, he was fascinated by the idea of networks, how things were connected, and how people communicated. By the time he was a teenager, he was already teaching himself computer programming and experimenting with writing code. Little did anyone know, this curiosity would soon lead him to become one of the most influential tech entrepreneurs of his generation. After graduating from high school, Dorsey attended the University of Missouri-Rolla, now known as Missouri University of Science and Technology, where he studied computer science and engineering. However, he eventually dropped out and moved to New York City, a decision that would change his life forever. Dorsey's early fascination with communication systems led him to experiment with the idea of a real-time, short-message service. This concept would go on to change the course of history. In the early 2000s, Dorsey moved to Silicon Valley and found himself at the heart of the tech revolution. He worked at Odeo, a podcasting platform founded by Evan Williams, a pivotal moment in his life. While there, Dorsey proposed an idea that would ultimately become Twitter, a platform for short, simple messages that could be shared instantly with anyone. Despite the initial skepticism of his peers, Dorsey's vision eventually gained traction, and Twitter was born in 2006. Twitter began as a side project at Odeo, and it quickly gained popularity. Dorsey's idea for an online space that allowed people to share their thoughts in 140 characters or less tapped into the world's need for real-time, bite-sized communication. It was simple, direct, and powerful, and it didn't take long for people to embrace the new platform. Twitter exploded in popularity, and what was once a small project became a global phenomenon. Celebrities, politicians, and everyday people alike began using Twitter to share news, opinions, and updates, and the world of social media was forever changed. However, Dorsey's journey with Twitter wasn't without challenges. In 2008, just 2 years after Twitter's launch, Dorsey was ousted as CEO, a move that shocked the tech world. His departure from the company was largely due to internal power struggles with other executives, including co-founder Evan Williams. Despite this setback, Dorsey remained committed to Twitter's mission, and he continued to support the platform from the outside as it grew into one of the most influential tools of the digital age. While Dorsey was navigating the ups and downs of Twitter, he also set his sights on another ambitious project, Square, a payment processing company that would revolutionize the way small businesses and individuals accepted payments. Founded in 2009, Square's mission was simple: to make it easier for anyone to accept credit card payments using just a mobile phone and a small card reader. This idea, born out of Dorsey's desire to help small business owners, quickly gained traction and grew into a powerful financial platform used by millions of entrepreneurs around the world. Square's impact has been immense. It enabled small businesses, especially those without access to traditional banking services, to accept payments, manage their sales, and track their finances. What started as a simple payment solution evolved into a full-fledged financial ecosystem, offering everything from small business loans to advanced analytics tools. Square has become a major player in the fintech industry, and Dorsey's ability to identify gaps in the market and create solutions that truly meet people's needs has been a hallmark of his career. In 2015, Dorsey was reappointed as CEO of Twitter, a move that signaled a new chapter for the company. Under his leadership, Twitter continued to evolve and adapt to the changing social media landscape. Dorsey focused on simplifying the platform, improving user experience, and refining its advertising model. Despite facing stiff competition from companies like Facebook and Instagram, Twitter remained a key player in digital communication and news sharing, particularly during critical moments like political events, social movements, and major global crises. But Dorsey's leadership style has often been unconventional. Known for his calm demeanor and often minimalistic approach, he has been described as someone who values simplicity and clarity over complexity. He's also known for his commitment to wellness and mindfulness, often practicing intermittent fasting, meditation, and yoga. His approach to leadership is grounded in a desire to create a culture of trust, transparency, and personal growth, both for himself and his employees. Dorsey's passion for technology goes beyond just the companies he's built. He's also been an advocate for innovation in areas like blockchain and cryptocurrency. In recent years, he has become a vocal supporter of Bitcoin, calling it the native currency of the Internet. His enthusiasm for decentralized technologies and digital currencies has positioned him as a thought leader in the future of finance, and he has even taken steps to integrate blockchain technology into Square's offerings. Throughout his career, Jack Dorsey has faced his share of controversies. From being ousted at Twitter to criticisms about Twitter's role in spreading misinformation, Dorsey's companies have been under intense scrutiny. But despite the challenges, he has continued to push forward with his mission to make the world more connected, both through social media and financial services. His ability to navigate these turbulent waters with resilience and vision has only solidified his place in history as one of the leading figures of the digital age. Today, Dorsey's influence extends beyond the companies he founded. As one of Silicon Valley's most prominent entrepreneurs, his name is synonymous with innovation, disruption, and the changing nature of how we communicate and transact. From Twitter to Square and beyond, Jack Dorsey has shown time and time again that he is not afraid to take risks and challenge the status quo. His legacy is still unfolding, and with his continued focus on innovation, it's clear that Dorsey will remain a key figure in the tech world for years to come. In 2006, a small, seemingly simple idea took flight in Silicon Valley, a platform designed for brief, real-time communication. At the time, no one knew that this idea would transform the digital landscape forever. That platform was Twitter, founded by Jack Dorsey, Biz Stone, and Evan Williams. What started as a way to share short status updates would soon evolve into one of the most influential communication tools the world has ever known. The story of Twitter's rise began at Odeo, a podcasting company co-founded by Evan Williams. It was at Odeo where Jack Dorsey, a software engineer, came up with the initial concept for Twitter. Dorsey was fascinated by the concept of real-time communication, and he envisioned a service where people could share short messages or tweets in a public feed. Initially, Twitter was just a side project, a simple way to update friends on what you were doing at the moment. However, the idea of communicating instantly and publicly struck a chord. In March 2006, Twitter was born. At first, the platform was met with a lukewarm reception. It seemed like just another digital tool in an already crowded space. But something about the simplicity of Twitter resonated with people. The 140-character limit forced brevity, and its public nature made it appealing for real-time updates. This was not just about sharing personal thoughts, it was about sharing thoughts with the world. As the platform slowly grew, its utility began to become clear. From friends updating each other to news outlets reporting breaking stories, Twitter was being used in new, unexpected ways. In 2007, Twitter began gaining real traction, especially at tech conferences. It was during this time that Twitter caught the attention of investors. In 2007, Twitter raised its first major round of funding, and the company began scaling rapidly. The platform was introduced to the wider public, and more people started seeing its potential for immediate communication. Celebrities, politicians, and journalists began adopting it, and Twitter quickly became an integral tool in the media world. One of Twitter's most significant moments came in 2009 during the Iranian election protests. Iranian activists used Twitter to organize demonstrations and spread information to the outside world, bypassing government censorship. This moment highlighted Twitter's power as a tool for social change. Suddenly, Twitter wasn't just a platform for self-expression, it was a tool for activism, a voice for the voiceless. It wasn't long before Twitter became synonymous with breaking news, allowing users to share live updates during major global events. But while Twitter's growth seemed unstoppable, internal challenges were mounting. As the platform expanded, so did its complexity. The simplicity that made Twitter so powerful also made it difficult to monetize. Twitter's initial business model was based on advertising, but it struggled to generate consistent revenue. In 2008, Twitter was on the brink of collapse. The company was losing money, and there were questions about whether it could continue operating. In a move that would change the company's trajectory, Twitter appointed Evan Williams as CEO, who made the decision to refocus Twitter's vision on becoming a communications platform rather than just a social network. Despite these growing pains, Twitter's reach continued to expand. As mobile devices became more ubiquitous, Twitter's popularity soared. The rise of smartphones gave users constant access to the platform, making it a central part of their daily lives. Celebrities tweeted, politicians tweeted, even world leaders took to Twitter to communicate directly with their followers. By 2010, Twitter was one of the most powerful platforms in the world, with millions of active users. Yet, with success came new challenges. The platform's open nature made it a powerful tool, but it also made it a target for abuse. As Twitter grew, so did the amount of spam, harassment, and misinformation. These issues would plague Twitter for years, and the company struggled to find solutions. Its content moderation policies were criticized, and its inability to effectively tackle the spread of fake news and harassment became one of its most significant challenges. Another challenge arose in 2011, when Dorsey, who had stepped down as CEO in 2008, returned to lead Twitter as the company's CEO once again. Despite his success in creating the platform, Dorsey faced enormous pressure to turn the company into a more sustainable business. Twitter's revenue generation was still underdeveloped, and investors were eager for growth. Dorsey's return signaled a shift in the company's direction, focusing more on user growth and refining the platform's advertising model. However, Dorsey's second stint as CEO wasn't without conflict. Twitter struggled to find a clear identity in the face of stiff competition from companies like Facebook and Instagram, which offered more visual, immersive social experiences. Twitter's core strength, its simplicity, was starting to show signs of strain, as users wanted more from the platform than just short text posts. Twitter had been built for brevity, but the world was evolving into a more multimedia-driven landscape. As Instagram and Snapchat grew, Twitter found itself at a crossroads. While Twitter continued to innovate, it never fully managed to capture the same visual and creative energy that its competitors did. Its failure to evolve into a more dynamic multimedia platform was seen as a weakness. Despite attempts to innovate with features like Vine, a short video sharing platform, and Periscope, a live streaming app, these initiatives didn't have the same lasting impact. In 2016, Twitter shut down Vine, one of its biggest flops, signaling that it couldn't fully adapt to the fast-changing digital ecosystem. Despite these struggles, Twitter remained a critical platform for real-time communication. The company's role in politics, social movements, and global crises continued to grow. Twitter became a battleground for discourse, with world leaders, journalists, and activists using the platform to shape public opinion. However, this also made the platform a target for increasing scrutiny. Twitter became a focal point in debates about free speech, the spread of misinformation, and the role of tech companies in regulating online content. The 2016 U.S. presidential election marked a turning point for Twitter. The platform was accused of being a major tool in the spread of fake news, Russian disinformation, and toxic political rhetoric. The company was under intense pressure to regulate content and curb the spread of harmful material. While Twitter made efforts to improve its content moderation and tackle harassment, its reputation was tarnished. By 2018, Twitter's user growth had stagnated and its stock price was volatile. It had become a company that faced significant questions about its future direction. In 2020, after years of struggle, Twitter seemed to reach a new turning point with the introduction of features like fleets of disappearing stories format and more aggressive moderation policies. But by then, it was clear that Twitter's place in the digital landscape was different. It had become a platform not just for social interaction, but also for political discourse, misinformation, and societal division. Through all of this, Jack Dorsey's role as the founder of Twitter remained iconic. While he stepped down as CEO of Twitter in 2021, his influence on the platform and the broader tech landscape continues to be felt. Twitter's rise and fall were not just about the company itself, but about how social media platforms shape modern life both for better and for worse. Dorsey's vision for real-time, open communication will forever be embedded in the digital DNA of the 21st century. Twitter's journey reflects the complexities of innovation, the challenges of scaling, and the unpredictable consequences of shaping the public conversation. Jack Dorsey's impact on the digital world is immeasurable. As the co-founder of Twitter and Square, Dorsey didn't just build platforms. He revolutionized the way we communicate, share information, and conduct business. His legacy is deeply woven into the fabric of the internet and modern society. Twitter, launched in 2006, transformed the way people interacted online. By introducing real-time, public conversations in the form of 140-character tweets, Dorsey helped shape the future of digital communication. Twitter quickly became the go-to platform for breaking news, political discourse, social movements, and personal expression. What started as a simple idea for short status updates became the digital heartbeat of the world. Dorsey's belief in the power of brevity and simplicity was a defining feature of Twitter. Unlike other platforms that focused on photos or videos, Twitter was centered around quick, digestible pieces of text. This concept struck a chord globally, and by 2009, Twitter became a cornerstone of news sharing. In the midst of the Iranian elections in 2009, Twitter became a critical tool for organizing protests and spreading information under government censorship. This moment was a clear demonstration of the power Twitter held not just as a communication tool, but as a platform for real-time activism and political change. However, Dorsey's impact wasn't limited to Twitter. In 2009, he co-founded Square, a mobile payment solution that democratized the ability to accept credit card payments. Square's simple and effective design allowed anyone from small business owners to independent creators to easily process payments via their phones. By enabling small businesses to participate in the digital economy, Dorsey helped create an ecosystem where entrepreneurship could thrive. Square also expanded into financial services, offering loans and other financial products to those who were previously underserved by traditional banking. Jack Dorsey's impact on the financial sector is especially noteworthy. Square fundamentally changed how people think about money, payments, and commerce. The rise of Square has played a pivotal role in the broader movement towards a cashless society. Dorsey saw a gap in the market and understood the need for inclusivity in financial tools, making Square not just a success but a transformative force in global finance. Beyond payments, Dorsey's role in advancing the blockchain and cryptocurrency space has further cemented his legacy. As an outspoken advocate for Bitcoin, Dorsey has pushed Square to embrace cryptocurrency, viewing it as the native currency of the internet. Through his efforts, Square became one of the first major financial companies to allow users to buy and sell Bitcoin through its platform. Dorsey's forward-thinking approach to blockchain technology is part of his broader vision of decentralization, a belief that financial systems should be open, transparent, and accessible to all. But Dorsey's impact goes beyond products and technology. His leadership style has also influenced the culture of Silicon Valley. Known for his minimalist approach, Dorsey often emphasizes simplicity, mindfulness, and discipline. His focus on health and wellness through practices like intermittent fasting and meditation has shaped the way some tech entrepreneurs approach work-life balance. His leadership is not just about the bottom line. It's about creating a sustainable, positive culture for employees and encouraging personal growth and self-care. Dorsey's influence in shaping the social media landscape is also undeniable. Twitter became the primary platform for political discourse, with politicians, celebrities, journalists, and even world leaders using it as their megaphone to broadcast messages to millions. The platform helped reshape how political campaigns are run, how public debates unfold, and how social movements spread. Hashtags like #BlackLivesMatter and #MeToo, which began as grassroots movements, were amplified globally through Twitter, giving marginalized voices a platform and challenging power structures worldwide. However, Dorsey's platforms have also raised tough questions about power, responsibility, and free speech. Twitter has been at the center of debates about misinformation, hate speech, and censorship. Dorsey, as the head of one of the most influential platforms in the world, has often found himself navigating the complexities of content moderation and the ethical responsibilities of tech giants. Despite criticism, he remained committed to the platform's original ethos of free speech, though it became evident that balancing freedom and responsibility was a monumental challenge. Dorsey's work has also influenced the way technology intersects with social issues. As an advocate for decentralization and user control, he's voiced concerns about the growing dominance of tech monopolies. He's pushed for open-source software and decentralized technologies as a way to ensure that people, rather than corporations, have control over their data. This philosophy aligns with his broader commitment to making technology more transparent, democratic, and accessible. Jack Dorsey's impact is not just in the technologies he created, but in the way he thought about technology's role in society. His commitment to creating platforms that connect people, provide access to financial services, and promote decentralization has inspired countless entrepreneurs and innovators. Dorsey's journey shows the power of vision, how one idea, if executed with care and conviction, can change the world. Despite the controversies surrounding his platforms, including concerns about misinformation and privacy, Dorsey's contributions to the digital age cannot be overstated. His work has helped create a digital ecosystem where communication, commerce, and finance can all exist on a global, decentralized scale. Whether through Twitter, Square, or his work in cryptocurrency, Dorsey's legacy is a testament to how one person's idea can have a profound, lasting impact on the world. As he continues to push the boundaries of technology, Dorsey's influence will continue to shape the future of both social media and finance. His impact extends far beyond the companies he's built. It's in the conversations people have every day, the businesses that thrive because of accessible financial tools, and the way we think about the future of money, communication, and the internet. Through all his ventures, Jack Dorsey has proven that technology is not just about what it can do. It's about how it can create connections and change lives. Jack Dorsey's journey has been marked by both extraordinary triumphs and significant challenges, but through it all, his vision for a more connected world has remained steadfast. From creating Twitter, which changed the way we communicate and share information, to launching Square, which democratized financial services for small businesses and individuals, Dorsey's influence on the digital landscape is undeniable. His work has reshaped how we engage with the internet, how businesses operate, and how we think about money and communication. But his impact goes beyond technology alone. Dorsey's commitment to decentralization and open-source innovation has sparked conversations about the future of the internet, one where individuals have more control over their data and digital lives. His advocacy for Bitcoin and blockchain technology reflects his belief in a more open and transparent financial system, one that challenges the dominance of traditional institutions. He sees technology as a force for good, a tool for empowering people rather than controlling them. Despite the controversies surrounding his companies, from issues of misinformation on Twitter to the ethical challenges of content moderation, Dorsey has remained a central figure in debates about the power of tech companies and their responsibility to society. His leadership has often been unconventional, focused on simplicity, health, and mindfulness, but it's this unique approach that has allowed him to remain at the forefront of innovation. As Dorsey steps away from his role as CEO of Twitter in 2021, his legacy is more than just the platforms he built. It's about the cultural shift he helped instigate, where digital platforms became essential tools for communication, activism, and commerce. Dorsey's work created a new kind of global connectivity, one that brings together people from all walks of life, from activists in the streets of Tehran to entrepreneurs in rural America and everyone in between. Looking ahead, Dorsey's influence will continue to ripple through the tech world, whether through Square's ongoing transformation of financial services or his advocacy for decentralized technologies. His vision for the future of the Internet is one that is less about centralized control and more about empowering individuals and communities. The challenges he faced and the risks he took have set the stage for the next generation of innovators. Jack Dorsey may no longer be at the helm of Twitter, but his fingerprints are all over the platforms that shape our digital lives. His legacy is built on the belief that technology should connect, empower, and uplift, and that's a vision that will continue to define the future of the Internet.